You're about to listen to the award-winning Stuart Pedasso Show. This show is for ideologically and emotionally mature audiences. If you should not be here, please go away. We'll still be here when you're mature enough to partake. Mwah!
All right. Hey, everyone.
Hi.
Hold on a second.
What?
No, we're good.
Oh, okay.
I just
all
right. Sorry. I thought we were going to have problems. We have no problems.
No problem.
Problemless. Welcome to the Stuart Pedasso Show. I'm Dave.
I'm Melissa.
And Carrie's on assignment. Actually, that is true. She is on an assignment right now. Not for the show.
Yeah, well, with her family, I assume.
Yes, it was family.
Like she's got family times.
Yep. She's doing things. She's out of town. And so we'll get updated by her whenever.
When she tells us.
Yeah,
what she's up to.
we're recording on Sundays, and so that's just going to be hit and miss for her.
Yeah, sometimes we'll all be here. Sometimes one of us. Well, you'll probably always be here. So it's your house.
Well, it's
in your
just
studio.
The studio, yeah. Unless somebody wants to start recording, I don't care.
Yeah, it's not going to be me.
Okay, then that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I have to be on the show.
Yeah, yeah, you have to be here.
That's all. I mean, if there's someone else who took that, was like, I can do it, Dave. I have the software.
I mean, if you taught me how to do it, I suppose I could learn how to do it. But I won't lie, I really have no real interest in learning it. Yeah.
Right. No, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
That way, at least I know I'm not missing out on a show.
Yeah. That's true.
Don't have much of a choice.
Yeah.
So let's see. Oh, here's a little bit of.
Oh, I'm Melissa.
I thought you said that.
Did we?
Yeah.
Did you say Dave and Melissa?
Yeah.
Did we?
Because Carrie's not here.
Oh my God, where am I at? Ugh. You know what? I just remembered. I forgot to take my meds today.
Oh, this will be a fun show.
Oh boy, didn't take my ADHD meds, so my brain's gonna be all kinds of fun.
So, a little housekeeping thing. Just the other day, we put up a good 50, 60 more songs to the library at Stuart Pedasso Radio.
Nice.
Music for the Revolution. You can go check it out. There's some really neat stuff there. And including not just new stuff that you've never heard of, some old blues tunes that I came across that was good. It's sticking it to the man kind of stuff. So I was like, oh, that's cool.
You know,
So
people have been sticking it to the man since you could stick it to the man.
since there was a man.
Did it stick?
Yeah. To stick it to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's been around forever.
Speaking of which, we're going to talk about sticking it to the man in just a second.
Awesome.
But so all you got to do is go to stuartpedasso.com and the player's there. Or you can click on links there that'll take you to something where you can bookmark it. You can save it as a link on your desktop, on your computer, or on your phone. Put it on your screen, and then it's just always there. You can listen to it. It is internet-based only. There's too much stuff on there that would not be acceptable to the FCC, so not even going to bother with that shit. No, just all internet. So it's always going 24/7 for you to check out.
Fuck the FCC.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of fuck them. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I'm sure there's some. I mean, there's some things they do that's probably very good, but I also say fuck them. But they're also still the man.
Not so much anymore. They used to be really, in terms of like equal access and shit like that, and now they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, so kind of, yeah.
Well, it's become the appointees to who runs it has become just so ideological that it's just useless almost. So, well, I'll say one good thing about this, downsizing the government thing these sociopaths are doing. I mean, there'll be less people at the FCC to go after like pirate stations.
That's true.
So,
Fan of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love that. We love a pirate station.
Yeah. Arg.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
An actual pirate station. I was like, arg.
You're about to listen to the award-winning Stuart Pedasso Show. This show is for ideologically and emotionally mature audiences.
Radio.
If you should not be here, please go away.
Now I gotta look
We'll
it
still
up.
be here.
Like,
when you're
There's got to be
mature enough to partake.
WARG. There's
Like,
gotta
please
be.
tell me there is.
Come on, how could there not be?
I mean, why wouldn't you take that? Like, why wouldn't you take that? Oh, gosh. But I kind of hope there isn't, because we can steal.
Sorry, WARG, your radio alternative. All right, hey everyone. Hold on, let me see where these guys are. I don't know where they're from. No,
But if okay.
I just
all right.
They are Sorry, I thought we were going to have problems. We have no problems.
Summit, Illinois.
Problemless.
All right.
So
Welcome
they
to
got
the Stuart Pedasso Show. I'm Dave.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
that's
all
all
right.
And
Do they have
Carrie's
look
on
like they have a pretty good
assignment?
playlist?
Actually, that is true. She is on assignment right now. Not for the show.
Well, with their
No,
family, I
Yes,
assume.
it was family.
Like, she's
Okay,
got
they're trying
family-
to be cool
family
and all
times.
over the
Yep.
place. She's
But-
doing things. She's out of
No,
town.
not so much.
And,
Well, I
so
see
we'll
Will
get,
I Am. I see
updated
Keisha.
by her.
I see
whenever.
Fiona
When
Apple.
she tells us.
Yeah,
Slow
we're
Jam,
we're
and
on
then I'll be
recording
for
on
the other
Sundays,
folks I don't
and
know who they are.
Okay.
so that's just
Yeah.
going
It
to be
doesn't look like
hit
anything.
Yeah,
I'd be jamming
sometimes.
Well, I'll be here.
Well, our
sometimes
local,
one of us-
well, you'll probably
alternative
always
station,
be here. So it's your
WPER
house.
is still-
Well, it's
In your
the
studio.
The studio, yeah. Unless somebody
Yeah,
wants to
no,
start
no,
recording.
I don't
I don't
tend to listen
care.
to them like
Yeah,
ITR,
it's not going to be me.
And okay,
They're
then
not.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I have to
off
be
the
on
air,
the
too. Maybe
show.
it's just
Yeah,
something
it's
in your
like
college.
no, there
You
were
have
some
to.
issues. Well, I know
That's
for a
all.
while
I mean,
they
if
were
there's
off the air
someone else
because they
who took
had
that
like there was
and
a
was like, I can
issue
do it,
with
Dave.
their
I have the
satellite or
software.
there
I
was a-
mean,
there was
I mean,
actually
if you
like
taught
a
me how to
technical
do it, I
issue,
suppose I
so
could
they
learn how
were
to do it,
playing.
but I
Like,
won't lie, I really have
they had like a
no real
200
interest in learning it.
song
Yeah.
playlist
totally
type
fine.
thing that they kept
That
just
way, at least I
playing.
know I'm not missing
BER.
out on the show.
Oh, okay.
And this happened during while they were having
choice.
their huge they have that one big
let's
fundraiser.
see.
a year.
Oh, here's a little bit of.
See?
Oh, I'm Melissa.
See, this is why we need your
I thought you
money.
said that.
Did we?
Yeah.
You say Dave and Melissa? I feel bad
Yeah,
for them.
because Carrie's not.
I mean,
here.
I like BER.
Oh my God, where am I
used to listen
at?
to
ITR too.
You know what? I
yeah,
just
I've
remembered.
gotten into
I forgot
ITR.
to- Are they? I mean,
Melissa was
back
actually-
when I
Oh,
back in
boy,
the back in the
ADHD
80s, back in
mess.
the
My
dinosaur
brain's gonna
times of the
be
1980s, they were
So,
definitely the
little
hippest
housekeeping thing.
station in the
Just
area.
The other day, we pulled up
and
a
because
good
where I lived
50,
out in
60
Livonia,
more
it
songs
was
to
because
the library at
ITR
Stuart
was in
Pedasso Radio.
Henrietta, not that far.
Nice.
Because you get to
Revolution,
certain
you can
areas
go
and
check
you
it out.
wouldn't be able to. I mean,
There's some
in the
brilliant
city
stuff.
even you wouldn't
Right.
be able to hear
Including
it,
not
as
just
well.
new
But
stuff,
out in,
yeah,
you've
yeah,
never
but
heard
out in
of.
Livonia, I
Actually,
could get it really
some
well.
old
And so
blues
it was
tunes
it was
that I
my
came across
morning
that,
my morning
good. Sticking it to the
station
man
when I
kind of
was
stuff. So
when I was a
it's like,
teenager.
oh, that's cool.
In my high school,
So
people have been sticking it to the man since you
Cool,
could
cool,
stick it to the man.
cool
Since
chick
it was a
was
man.
like college
Dude, stick.
radio.
yeah,
It was so
to stick
cool.
it to.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
I
I
mean,
mean,
it's been
wasn't
around
really
forever.
that cool.
Speaking of which, we're
I
going
know,
to
it's a
talk
little
about
bit
sticking
cool.
it to the
People
man.
told
in
me
just a second.
people told me later
so
on they
all you
thought
gotta
it was
do is
cool.
go to
I was like,
stuartpedasso.com and the players
Tell the people
there.
you
Glad I fooled you.
Or you can
Because I
click on links
am
there
really
that'll take you
not
to
really
something
that
where
cool.
you can
Well, I mean, that's
bookmark
I think
it. You
especially
can
as
save it
teenagers.
as a
only the really
link on your
delusional think that they're all that
desktop.
shit. The rest of us are like
computer. Or
I'm
on
faking
your
it like
phone.
everyone
Yeah,
else.
on
Like
your
I'm just
screen.
trying
And
to
then
fake
it's
it
just
so y'all
always
don't
there. You
figure
can
out
listen to it.
that
It is
I'm
internet
like
based
as much
only.
of a loser as I
There's
am.
too much
Yeah,
too
I
much
mean,
stuff on
especially-
there that
like
would
I
not
don't
be
think I'm
acceptable
like
to
I
the
definitely don't think I'm a
FCC.
loser. I don't think I'm a loser
So,
now. But when
I'm
I was in
not
high
bothered
school,
with
oh yeah, I
that.
totally thought I was a
No,
loser.
Just all internet.
I did.
So
I did. I had
it's always
problems. I had
going
issues. I had
24/7
stuff
for
going
you
on
to
that
check
totally
out.
made me
Fuck
feel
the
like I was
FCC.
kind of a loser.
Yeah, I'm okay. I always felt.
Kind
I
of
was. So,
fucked.
I was
mean,
more
I-
oblivious.
I shouldn't say that.
You
I'm
mean
sure there's some.
oblivious.
I mean, there's
just
some
didn't-
things
if I
they
was
do that's
talking to
probably very
somebody I went
good.
to high
But
school with
I also
just
say
a
fuck
few-
it. But they're also
couple
still the
months ago,
man.
or not so much anymore. During a
They used to
campaign
be
thing,
really
met him, and
in terms of like
we were
equal
talking
access,
me
and shit
being
like
one
that,
of
and
the
now they don't give a fuck.
fewer
It's okay.
white people
Yeah.
in the
Well,
school.
it's become
It was mostly black folks.
the
with
appointees
some
who runs
sprinklings
it.
of,
It's
What do you
become
mean?
just
Yeah.
so
Mm.
ideological. And then the occasional.
It's just
There was a time when we got a lot of Southeast
So,
Asian.
well, I'll
folks
say one good thing
from
about
Vietnam.
this,
Oh, yeah.
recognizing the
Oh, well, we
government
do have a
thing
lot of
these-
refugees
these
here from
sociopaths are
Vietnam.
doing.
Well, this, I
believe
mean, this
the
was like a
in
huge
general.
flood in that
FCC
one.
Oh,
year
just like that
to go
one.
after,
like
Okay.
pirate
and
stations.
but
I'm just saying. I know we got. I know we must
Fan
have a
of
lot
that.
of refugees.
Yeah,
in
we
this
love that.
city
We love a
from
pirate
Vietnam
station.
because we have a lot of really good Vietnamese restaurants. Yeah, yeah, that are run by
Yeah.
actual Vietnamese
An actual
people.
pirate
So,
radio
they
station.
must really like it. That's nice.
So I just didn't like. I was oblivious to. I wasn't like, oh, we all get along and there's no such thing as race or anything like that. But
W-A-R-G.
I just
W-A-R-G.
how
Our
things
radio.
actually were in the real world and how that
All right, now I gotta look it
affected
up.
Like,
It's
please,
got to be
please,
W-A-R-G.
Like,
I
please
got
tell
along with
me
everybody
there
and
is.
everything
Come
was
on, how could there
relatively
not
fine.
be?
I
I
just
mean,
didn't
why
know
wouldn't
that
you take that?
there were black folks
Like, why
were
wouldn't
still
you
dealing
take
with
that?
shit like outside of
Oh,
school.
because of our
gosh,
privilege.
I-
Even in
But
school,
I
yeah,
kind of
I
hope there
know.
isn't.
Yeah.
'Cause, you know, you're like, well, they're my friends, and I like them, so
These
you
are
know, they're
right,
cool.
ARG,
they're not mean to
Radio
me. So,
Alternative.
oh,
and
yeah,
we got
yeah.
along.
and we got along. Yeah, no, it isn't, and it is. I mean,
But
it
if-
kind of.
oh,
I mean, I
dude.
didn't have.
They are.
I didn't have the kind. I mean, in the
Summit,
school I went to,
Illinois.
almost everybody was white.
All right.
So
like,
they got
there was
WARG. And
a
I'm looking
couple-
at
That's all
the-
right.
my-
Do they look like
my
they have a pretty good
issues
playlist?
Yeah.
didn't Start.
No.
My issues didn't start till after.
No.
No. Okay, they're trying to be cool and
No,
all
I know,
over the
it's
place.
fine.
I'm just saying, when I got into
No,
the real
not so
world,
much.
it's just that's
Well,
when
I
see Will I Am. I see
that's when
Keisha.
my brain went.
I see
completely.
Fiona.
I wasn't,
Apple,
and I don't
Pearl
remember
Jam.
this, but apparently
I'll
when
be
I
honest with you,
was
other folks I
around
do
like
not
5
know
or
who
6
they are.
years
Okay,
old, I
they're-
was in therapy for
yeah.
a short time.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like
I
anything
was
I'd be
acting
jamming
out.
to.
And
Well, our local
they couldn't
alternative
figure out
station,
why I was acting
WBER.
out. I know I was
still
acting out, and I'm not going to
raising
talk
money
about it on
for-
the show. But
Yeah,
I
that's
know
pretty
I was.
much I don't tend to listen to them. I do
And,
ITR, and
but it's
they're
funny,
pretty
I
good.
just didn't rem-
They're kind of off the
It
air.
wasn't
Maybe it's
TV.
just a
It
summer
was-
thing because
never
they're
mind.
college.
No, there were some issues. Well, I know for a
KTV.
while they were
It
off the
was
air
still the
because they
70s.
had like there was an issue with their satellite or there was a
There was
MTV
actually
came out-
like a
I-
technical
what is
issue.
it?
So they were
1981.
playing
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
So I would have been.
they had like
I would have been
a 200 song playlist
I do
type
remember
thing that they kept just
Wait, which
playing.
one are we
I mean,
talking
I
about?
definitely
BER.
remember very.
Oh, okay.
And this happened during
It was-
while they were having
definitely
their
was a big part of my life.
They're
Fundraisers.
they're huge. Yeah, they have that
Like
one big
10
fundraiser a
like
year.
10 or
11
11
is probably
See?
when we actually
this is why we
finally
lose your
got
money.
cable in my little
feel
pub
bad for
town. I mean, I like had
BER.
like
I
three.
used to
Yeah,
listen
like
to
you're talking about the
ITR
school
too.
you went to.
Yeah, I've
like there was
gotten
like
into
3 black
ITR.
people.
Are they?
a
St-
couple
I mean,
of-
back in the
Asian
80s, back in the
people, like one of
dinosaur
my
times of the
friends was- one of my best
1980s,
friends was
they were
Filipino.
definitely the
Um,
hippest
so a few Asian
station in the
people,
area.
couple of
And
biracial
because where I lived
people.
out
I mean,
in
but it was so
Livonia,
it was
yeah,
still
you know,
mostly
because
like
ITR
even
was
the
in
biracial
Henrietta,
people
not
were,
that far.
You know, mom,
Because you get to
mom-
certain areas
mom
and
was-
you
Yeah,
might
yeah.
be able to.
actually
I
know
mean,
which
in
one
the
was
city
black or white.
even,
I
you
don't
wouldn't be able to
know.
hear
They don't
it
have their parents.
as well.
But
they were very
yeah.
like
yeah,
scared.
but out in Livonia, I could
So
get
it was like,
really
I don't know.
loud.
They,
So
I mean,
it
it's
was
like they
my
were
morning-
passing as white, but
my
they
mo-
were so
my morning
light-skinned. I don't think
station
anybody.
when I was
And they
when
were
I was a
nice and they
teenager.
were decent
in my high
students and
school
stuff. So like, I don't think anybody gave a shit.
Cool,
So like, I grew
cool,
up like
cool
I
chick
grew up
listening to
being
college
told not to
radio.
hate people
I was
because
so
of their
cool.
skin color and
Isn't that
because
cool?
somebody was.
I mean, I
different or,
wasn't
you know
really
that
that
kind
cool,
of.
but
I was a
happy
little
hippie
bit
shit,
cool.
but
People
at the
told
same
me.
time,
People
I grew
told
up
me
in a
later
little
on
bubble.
they thought I was cool. And I
was
didn't know
like,
people
oh,
were
okay.
suffering.
Tell the
Like,
people. Yeah, yeah,
Glad I
yeah.
fooled. I mean,
Yeah.
I grew up poor too, but I wasn't poor
Because I
and
am really
and
not
black
really
or
that
poor
cool.
and
Well,
a refugee.
I mean, that's, I think
and
especially as teenagers,
you know.
and that's really one of as much of a cesspool as it could be. That is one of the.
I'm faking it like everyone
yeah, I'll
else.
say
Like
good
I'm just
things
trying to
about
fake it so
that
y'all don't
off the
figure
internet.
out that
I
I'm
saw
like
that
this
is
much of a
this
loser
type
as
of
I
stuff
am. Yeah, I mean,
people
especially
find out
like I
about
don't
it.
think
They
I'm
don't
like
have
I
to
definitely
move to
don't think I'm a
another
loser.
town,
I don't think I'm a
you know,
loser
with
now.
different
But when I was in high
demographic
school,
too.
oh yeah, I
Like,
totally thought I was a loser.
Well, like I had.
I did.
Like,
I did.
Yeah.
I had
I mean,
problems. I had
moving
issues.
from
I
my
had stuff going on that
podunk
totally made me feel like I was kind of a
town
loser.
Big city. I
to
felt
big
I was so.
city.
I was more oblivious.
Well, I lived in Pittsburgh for a
I mean,
while too.
oblivious.
I just did. In fact, I was talking
Yeah, I did
to
live
somebody I
in
went to high school with. Just a
So,
couple months
let me see if
ago,
there's any other housekeeping
when I-
stuff.
during
From
campaign
last
that
week, I was
met
talking
him.
about how
we were talking, and
Carrie
me
and I were
being
doing
one
that
of the
garage sale thing.
fewer
And
white people in the
how,
school.
Mhm.
It was mostly
So
black
I
folks.
think I've
with
mentioned
some
it on the show,
sprinkling of,
but if not, I'll just do a
Latino,
quick
yeah.
re-mention.
Mhm.
and then the occasion.
So
occasional,
somebody I know
there was a
who
time when we
works
got a lot
at
of
a library in
Southeast Asian
area
folks
is
from
they
Vietnam.
had their
Oh, yeah,
refugees
yeah.
like they
Oh,
do
well, we
every
do have a
year.
lot of
Every library
refugees
does
here
this.
from
These are on-
Vietnam,
these
which
ones-
is
I mean, this
yeah,
was like
in
a huge
general.
flood in that one.
Oh,
year.
just like that one.
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Okay.
And so they
I'm just
sold
saying. I
some
know we
books,
got. I know
and
we
then they
must
tried
have
to
a
give
lot of
away the ones
refugees
that
in
were
this
left.
city from
And then the
Vietnam
ones
because
that
we
were
have a lot of
left.
really good
Then
Vietnamese restaurants.
I got a call going, "Hey
that are
Dave,
run
can
by
you find a
actual
home?"
locals.
So-
Like, they must really like it.
And so I just didn't,
Like I
of
was
course you-
oblivious to.
and they're all on my front porch right now.
kind of books.
I wasn't like, oh, we all
I did go
get
through
along
them. There are
and
all
there's no such
kinds.
thing
I
as
there
race
was
or
like
anything
3
like
or
that.
4.
But
I was like,
I just
okay,
wasn't
I
into
could actually a
how
Jimmy
things
Carter
actually were in the
memoir,
real
which
world
I have always
and
wanted
how
to
that
read.
Oh, that might be. Oh yeah,
And I
that,
just
that,
grabbed
oh
it.
yeah, that'll be
To me,
I
good.
didn't want to read books about
I got
him.
along with
wanted to
everybody,
read
and
from
everything was
him.
relatively
and
fine.
I wanted
and
to read
didn't know
about
that
the time
there
he was
were
in the White
black
House,
folks were
'cause
having
that's the
still
one thing.
dealing with
I know
shit,
about all
like,
the
outside
shit
of
he
school.
Because
did
of our
after he was
privilege.
in the
Even in
White
school,
House.
yeah.
Because that
I
was a
know.
long time. He was doing that
We
for
were
a
like,
very
well, they're
long
my
time,
friends,
so
and I
we
like
like
them,
them.
so,
So
you
know, they're
Stayed
cool.
over
I
there.
don't. They don't.
Cool
They're not
guys.
mean to
I
me.
know
So
how all the other
Oh.
presidents since then.
yeah,
we got
yeah.
along,
and we got along. Yeah,
Yes,
no,
that means
it's
Obama
it isn't.
too.
It is. I mean,
but,
kind of. I mean, I
I
didn't
don't
have.
know enough about Carter's time in office.
I didn't
was
have
young,
the kind. I mean,
and,
in the school I
haven't
went
read
to,
much
almost
about it,
everybody
so I
was
figured,
white.
so I grabbed that book.
There was.
I know my parents voted
a
for
couple.
him.
They did
but
tell me they voted
my
for him the
issues-
first time,
yeah,
and then when he
started
ran against
when I
Reagan,
was
they
my
voted
issues
for him
didn't
against
start till
Reagan
after,
as well.
So a couple of times
Just
I
right away.
or,
No,
I'm
I
sorry,
know,
a couple of
I'm
other
just
books
saying
that I got when I got into the real
I'm
world
sure
and
I
just
grabbed
those,
those when
and then the rest are just like
that's when
dumpsters.
my brain went kaput.
I
Actually,
wasn't,
that's not
and
true.
I don't
Before I
remember
leave, I'll
this,
go take
but
a look, see if
apparently
there's
when I
anything.
There
was
was a
around
book
like 5 or
that I
6 years
actually
old,
threw
I
in
was
the
in
recycle.
therapy for a short time because I was acting out.
I'm going to
And,
throw a few
um,
things away, yeah.
And
Yeah, they couldn't
well,
figure
there was
out
a
why I was
reason.
acting out.
and
I know
I'll
why
tell
I
you
was
why.
acting
So
out, and I'm not going to
there's
talk
a
about it on
book
the show.
that's
But
been
I
out
know why I was
for
acting
years
out.
now, and
And
it-
But
Back-
it's
Is it the
funny.
art of
I
the
just
deal?
don't
No.
Just kidding.
Back when we
Never mind,
used
it
to
was.
play music and I guess
Just kidding. I can't do
copyrighted
that, but
material
it was still the
on the
70s.
podcast, I'm sure. Damn, I'm sure we played
MTV
this
came out.
cut
What is
from,
it? 1981.
yeah.
So I would have been 9. I would have
Oh my
been
god,
9
now I'm
years
just
old.
blanking on her name.
I
A
do
comedian
remember
from Hawaii.
I mean, I definitely
who
remember.
I
very
worked with
early
when I was
MTV.
doing
It was,
community radio there. She also
you know, it
started
definitely was
and
a big
ran
part of my life when I
and
was
still runs, I
mhm.
assume,
like
Now
10
radio.
like 10 or 11
and
is probably
Kathy
when we actually
announced,
finally
I got her first
cable.
name now. But anyway,
Okay, all right.
She
So
also
Kathy
does Kathy Collins.
They had
Kathy
like
Collins.
three,
So
yeah, like you're
she
talking about the
does,
school you went to. And like there
she
was like
has
3
this
black people, a couple
Hawaiian,
of
like
couple
anti kind of
Asian
character that she
people,
does, but
like
like
one
on
of my
stage
friends
and,
was-
and
one of my
this
best friends
stand
was,
up and stuff like that.
Filipino.
And she talks about this book.
So a
and
few
how
Asian
shitty it is.
people,
It's called Maui
couple of
Revisited.
biracial,
And it was a bunch
people.
of
I
white
mean, but it
people
was so
who
still
made a
mostly,
tourist
like even the
book on
biracial
all the places
people were,
that
you know, mom,
that the natives don't
mom
want you to go to.
I don't
like
actually know
Sacred
which one was
Hawaiian
black
land
or
and
white.
shit like
I
that.
don't know.
It's a shitty
but they were
ass
very
book.
light skinned. Of course you did that.
Right.
You did
So
the
it's
right
like,
thing.
I don't
there.
know.
They, I mean, it's like they were
no,
passing
so
as
that's
white,
going
but
into-
they were so
that's
light
going
skinned.
into
I don't think
recycling.
anybody.
Spreading this shit around.
And they were nice
So
and they were
that
decent
ended up in
students and stuff. So
recycling.
like
Did you
I
rip
don't
it
think
first just
anybody
to make
gave a shit.
sure?
So like I
Not
grew up
massive
like
anymore.
I grew up being told
So
not
I
to
would've
hate
ripped
people
it.
because of
I
their
would've
skin
ripped it
color
just to be
because
sure
somebody
nobody
else
else
different. Or,
Oh,
you know,
wait,
that kind
I'll
of
take this.
happy hippie
just
shit.
a
I don't
But
know.
at the same time, I grew up in a
so
little bubble.
yeah, so that
I
I
didn't know
got all
people
those
were-
books, and
were
that'll be at the garage sale.
suffering.
And,
I mean,
who
I
knows
grew
what
up
else
poor
will-
too, but I
just
wasn't
stuck
poor
in there. It's going
and
to be interesting. And whenever I
and
participate in
black or
garage sales,
poor
I always like
and
to
a
come back and tell you how
refugee and
crappy people can be.
you know.
So I'm sure
And
that'll be
that's
coming. One as much of a
Yeah,
cesspool as it could be.
I'm
that is
getting
one
nervous
of
about
the-
my
I'll say
estate
good
sale.
things
Yeah, but I don't
about-
usually,
about
if
the
someone's
internet.
you doing it or someone
And that
doing
No,
is
I'm doing it.
this type of stuff. People find out about
Oh,
it.
I
and have to move
was
to another
I was
town
gonna
to
have somebody
deal
else
with
do it,
different
and my
demographics.
aunt talked me out of it because she's actually done
like I
estate
had,
sales
like
and
the
stuff.
adults.
Yeah.
I mean, moving from
she
my
was like, we can do this.
podunk town
We can do this, just the
to
two of
Liberty
us.
I'm like,
City,
okay.
City.
Well, not just I mean, we're doing all the
well, I lived in
pricing
Pittsburgh
and
for a
all that
while,
of
too.
all
Yeah,
the
I just meant being there
merchandise.
at the time.
Being there, there'll be 4 of us.
Okay.
So it'll be me,
let me see if there's any
aunt,
other housekeeping
Alex,
stuff.
and Kaya.
From last
Yeah,
week,
we
it was talking about
If someone's
how,
being too much of a douche, push them
Carrie
out
and I
of
are
the
doing that garage sale.
Yeah, he'll just go get the fuck out of my
And
house.
How, I think I mentioned it on
So,
the show, but if
I don't
not,
know.
I'll just do a quick
Ask ton of
re-mention.
books.
So
I'll go take a look.
Somebody I know who works at a library.
Yeah, there's a lot
in
of stuff
the
there.
Area.
Okay.
They
But
had
it's old.
their
There's
book
some,
sale like they do every year. Every library
I
does
was
this.
just-
At least around these.
Well,
Which library? Which
I
one?
mean,
Downtown
I took
No.
one of the
places.
I took a book
so
from.
they sold
So
some
I think
books,
I talked
and then they
already
tried to
on
give
the
away
show
the
about
ones that
the
were
amount
left,
of spy
and then
books
the
that
ones that were
my
left.
stepfather
Then
had.
I got a call going, "Hey Dave, can you find
And-
out who it is?"
My goodness, a lot of spy
Yeah,
books,
yeah,
but I
you're
did
like,
take one of
of
them
course
just
you
because it was
And
a
they're all on my
paperback
front
and
porch
it
right
was
now.
What kind
just
of books are
just
they?
like a
What kind
little
of-
I didn't go
tiny,
through them.
like,
There are all
regular
kinds.
paperback, and
there
it was
like
called
3 or 4. I was
the
like,
Dime Store
okay,
paperback.
I could
Oh, even if it
actually
wasn't
a Jimmy
quality
Carter
paperback.
memoir, which I have always wanted
It
to
was
read.
called How to
Oh,
How
that
to
might be.
Stage a
Oh yeah,
Coup.
And I did grab
oh yeah, that'll be good.
I
That's
didn't
it.
want to
In
read
black,
books about
black,
him. I wanted to
a
read
black
from
book
him.
with
And
yellow
I wanted to
lettering.
read
How to
about
Stage
the
a
time he
Coup,
was
and
in
I'm
the
like,
White House, because that's the one thing I know about. All the
That's
shit
kind
he
of
did after he was in the White
funny.
House,
Because that was a
Bill
long
Not
time. He was
funny.
doing that for a very long time.
Yeah,
Funny,
so-
not funny.
But you can
Yeah.
find this
read
stuff
about
on
his
YouTube,
term
and
in the
there's
White
there's
House
tons
because
of stuff
I
the
know
CIA
how
put
all the
out,
other presidents
both
since
in
then are
video
war
form,
criminals and suck
movie
ass.
at the time,
Yes, that means Obama
movie
too.
form, and as
but,
well as manuals on how
I don't
to
know enough about
create
Carter's time, and obviously I was
insurgents,
young,
how to
and
rile
I
up
haven't
the
read
masses,
much about it,
all
so I
that
figured
shit.
I grabbed that book.
That's a perfect
I know my
segue.
parents voted for
Can we
him.
talk
I'm so
about
glad
they
I
did
tell
like
me
the
they
masses?
voted for him the first
Yeah, let's
time,
talk
and then
about
when he
it.
ran,
So apparently,
ran against
well,
Reagan,
not
he
apparently,
voted for him
we've
against
sucked all
Reagan.
along,
as well.
but
So a couple of
so as of
times
yesterday,
I-
because we're recording on a
or,
Sunday,
I'm sorry, a couple
so
of other books
apparently
that I
we've
thought
committed yet
I
another
might
act
want
of
for
war.
my classroom.
And when I
grabbed
say we, I
those,
mean the
and then the
United
rest
States
are just
government.
like downstairs.
Just this time we
There-
went
actually,
in
that's not
and
true.
bombed.
Before I leave, I'll go take a look, see if
Iran.
there's anything.
There was a
Which
book
Israel did first.
that I
so,
actually threw in the
you know,
recycling.
Without getting permission from Congress, which
yeah.
is not what
I'm
you're
going to
supposed
throw a
to be
few
doing.
things away. Yeah.
And
So,
well, there was a reason, and I'll tell you why. So there's a book
before this
that's been
I
out
brought it
for
up
years
to
now,
a certain
and,
group chat.
Is it the art of the
with
deal?
Local
No,
activists.
back when we used to play
I
music
was just
and
thinking
I
of
guess
my own.
copyrighted
Okay,
material on the podcast.
Without
I'm
what
sure.
the doing.
I am
and what
sure
the
we
cops
played this
do,
cut
We're not going
from,
to be able to physically stop this. I
Oh my
think
God, no, I'm
the
just
voting
blanking on her
system
name.
is
Fucked up enough. A comedian from Hawaii
who the Democrats
I
aren't
worked with
putting
when I
up
was doing
any real
community
resistance.
radio.
So
there. She also started
switching them for
ran
the Democrats
and still
once
runs.
they
soon,
never go
Now
back
radio
and fix.
and
Trump's
Kathy
tax
tax
now,
cuts.
so I got her first name now.
His
But
first
anyway,
name.
Oh, I know.
she
It never got
also
changed.
Never got changed.
Nope,
Biden
I know.
never changed
Okay.
it.
I know he didn't.
So
Fuck that guy.
she
Right.
does.
So the Democrats
she
are
has this
offering no actual
Hawaiian-
resistance.
No.
And
Like
just as a quick aside,
anti- kind of
AOC
character
can
that she
fuck
does,
so
like
far
on
off
stage
and
and
nobody
this
sees her
stand up
from
and stuff like
online
that.
again.
And she talks about this
She
book.
just did
and how
something so
shitty
shitty
it is. It's called
yesterday.
Maui
Oh, what
Revisited.
was it?
And it was a bunch
That
of white people
activists from Columbia
who
made a
who,
tourist book
and
on all the
I'm
places
blanking on his name.
that-
I should know it.
Oh,
who just got
that the
released.
native-
Yeah,
they don't
yes,
want- he just
yes.
got released.
Sacred Hawaiian
AOC
land
shows
and
up
shit
at his
like
press
that.
conference and like takes
Oh,
shitty ass book.
So,
Like,
of course you did that.
Right,
You did the
so-
right thing, Dave.
So as soon as I saw, I was like, oh no,
Oh
this
no,
is
well,
not
that's
that.
going in.
That's-
That's
that
going in the
doesn't-
recycling.
I mean, like,
spread this shit around.
Nobody
Yeah,
believes
So
that.
she ended up in recycling.
Did you rip it
So
first
anyway,
just to make
so
sure?
as I
I'm
was
not that
thinking
massive
in
anymore. I
in
don't
my
kind of
Oh, I
size
would
as
have ripped
opposed
it.
to thinking
I
in
would
my
have ripped
feet.
it just to be sure
Whatever.
nobody else is
Maybe
like,
think it was
oh
my
wait,
feet.
I'll take this.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just-
Yeah,
I don't know.
So yeah,
Okay,
so that
sorry, back.
I got all those
So,
books and that'll be at the garage
so,
sale. And,
We'll
it's all right.
distracted
Stuck
myself
in there.
there.
It's going to be interesting.
So,
And whenever
as
I
I'm
participate in
thinking about
garage
this, all right,
sales,
so
I always like to
what
come
do we
back
got?
and tell you how
What do we
crappy
have
people can be.
that
So I'm sure that'll be
those
coming.
psychopaths want?
Yeah,
really only
I'm
one thing.
getting
Well,
nervous
two
about
things,
my
And they're
estate
connected.
sale.
Yeah, but
is
usually
our
if someone's are you
labor
doing it or someone doing
No,
it?
I'm doing it. Mhm.
That's all they want our money and they want us to work.
Oh,
to
I
make them
I
more
was
money.
I
That's
was
all
gonna
they
have
really
somebody
care
else
about
do it, and my
us.
aunt talked me out of it because she's actually done.
we need a
estate
general
sales and
strike.
stuff. She's
and like
so she
a
was
real
like,
one, like
we
at
can
least
do
a week
this.
long.
We can do this. Just the
And
two of us.
I
I'm like,
really
okay.
think that's all.
Well,
we
not
got
just.
left.
I mean, we're
That's
doing
gonna
all
do any
the
good. We can keep
pricing and all that of all
Yeah,
the
I just meant being there
merchandise.
at the time.
Being there,
out
there'll be
there
4 of us.
and waving our signs
So it'll
and
be
doing
me,
the
my
chanting
aunt,
and all that
Alex,
jazz. That's
and
fine.
Kaya.
But we can always. We've been
Someone's
doing
being
that
too
for
much of a douche.
years
Put
now,
somebody
and
else.
it's really not doing anything.
Yeah, he'll just get the
So-
fuck out of my house.
We need to stop working. We
So,
need to,
I don't know.
which means we
Ask
need
ton
to
of
plan
books.
for this and do a
I'll go take a look.
amazing amount of mutual aid.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff
that's
Okay.
that's
But
the
it's all-
conclusion I've come
there's
up
some,
with
like,
in the last.
I mean, you're not wrong.
3
I've actually
hours.
seen other people talk about Well, that as well online. I mean, I
Yeah.
took one of the.
So-
Took a book from.
no,
So I think I talked
there
already on the
actually-
show about the
and I
amount
do
of
not
spy
remember if I
books
mentioned
that
this on
my
the show before,
stepfather
and if I have, I
had.
apologize.
Mhm.
There is a
And I'm like, my
folks who
goodness,
are,
a lot of spy books. But I
have
did
been
take
working
one
on
of them
this. They
just
have
because it was a paperback and
mathematical
it was
formula
just
that says
just like a
X
little
number
tiny
of
like
people.
regular paperback, and it was
Actually,
called
I can- as I'm
the
telling
dime
you, but I
store
can probably
paperback
get
because
those
anybody
later.
knows it was
Um,
on Quality Trade.
And if X amount of people
Um,
do this, it will actually have
it's
an
called
effect.
how to stage
I
a
believe
coup.
it was 15%.
That's it. In black, Ooh, that's still a lot of black people. book
I may have it
with
wrong.
yellow lettering.
Okay.
How to
Because I'm
stage a coup, and I'm
15%?
like, that's kind of funny in a way. Not funny.
I
mean, I feel like I was
Funny, not
reading like
funny.
online that the amount of people
YouTube, and
protesting on the No
tons
Kings
of stuff
protest
the
was like
CIA put out, both in video form,
3.8% of the
movie,
population.
so I'll get into
Mhm.
movie
So-
form,
and that was a lot of
as
people.
well as
It's called
manuals on how to
generalstrikeus.com. I will link to it in the show notes. You
insurgents,
can
how
go ahead
to
and check it out.
rile up the
Um,
masses, all that shit.
So what is
Mhm.
needed?
That's a
I don't
perfect
know what
segue.
percentage this is.
Can we
I'm
talk
so
about
glad I
the
get the
exact
masses.
number of
Yeah, let's
people
talk about
needed
it.
to go
So
on general
apparently,
strike that these
well,
folks
not
are
apparently.
saying. We've sucked
10,644,000.
So as of yesterday, 'cause we're recording on a
people.
Sunday, so apparently we've committed yet another
That
act
is a lot
of
of
war.
people.
And when I say we, I mean the United States government.
Percentage held.
This time we've went in and bombed
3.5%
Iran,
or 11 million
which
Americans.
Israel did
Oh,
first.
so then
so,
it doesn't seem as high.
You know,
Okay.
so
Without
Well,
getting
then we
permission
could do
from
that
Congress.
because
Yes,
think about all
not
the
what you're
people that were
supposed
out
to be doing.
protesting.
yeah.
Which-
so I'm like,
So
I'm thinking
we were.
So I'm looking through this
I-
site, and
before
I'm like, all right,
this,
so
I
brought
who's
it
behind-
up
every
to
time-
a certain everything I look at, even
group
the
chat
kind of thing with local activists, whatever that number is. I
look at
was
who's
just thinking
running
on my
it,
own.
and
It
okay,
tells
well,
me, you know, what they're
with what they have ICE doing,
what they're
and what the cops
if they're really
do,
going to do anything.
We're not going to be
so,
able to physically
let me
stop this.
Which
I
organizations
think
you
the
partnership
voting
with. So I'm
system
starting to
is
look at this
fucked up
group,
enough where
and I don't think we can totally trust. I don't think we can. And the Democrats aren't putting up any real resistance. So switching them for the Democrats,
says if you would like to
they
explore
never go
partnership,
back
what is it?
and
There's
fix.
something in here. 'Cause I've
Trump's
seen
tax
because
tax cuts
funds you.
from
No, that's
his
not
first
it.
presidency.
Oh, I know. It never got changed.
Never
though.
got changed.
Nope,
Biden
I know.
never changed it.
I know he didn't. Fuck that guy.
Right.
Weird.
So the Democrats are offering no
I'm
actual
sorry, that's
resistance.
depressing.
And just as a quick aside,
Okay,
AOC can fuck so far
things
off
like like
Nobody
the Black
sees your
Panther Party of
Hiroshima online
Washington
again.
State. Okay,
Just
whatever.
did something so
That's
shitty
fine.
yesterday.
Oh, what was it?
California National
That
Party, which I never heard
activist
of.
from Colombia
Um,
and I'm blanking on
Claim
his
Our
name.
Space
I should know
Now.
it.
some
Oh,
who
big
just got
city
released.
thing.
Yeah,
He
yes,
just got
yes.
released.
AOC shows up at his press
looking
conference and
what
like
some
takes
of
the
these
mic.
groups are.
Like,
and I
fuck
haven't
you.
heard of a lot
Just
of them
fuck
until
all
I
the way
go
off.
down a
Will you
little bit more,
please?
and I'm kind of like, oh wait a minute,
Yeah,
here's
that
something
doesn't-
I've
I mean-
heard of. She just nobody
that's not
believes
good.
she.
We're gonna-
Party. So anyway, as I was thinking,
Is it a Rochester
in my-
thing?
No, this is totally
Thinking
national.
in my feet.
This is
on
a totally
whatever.
national thing.
Say everything.
Was Upstream
Yeah,
podcast.
that's it. Yeah,
Which
yeah.
I've heard them and I've listened to their stuff.
Okay, I'm
and
sorry, I'm back.
They're
So,
pretty
um,
good.
So,
Upstream's okay with this.
so other
um,
people who have signed
sorry,
on
distracted
are
myself
people
there.
who I've
So,
talked about, like
as I'm
Richard
thinking
Wolff.
about this, all right,
Okay,
so
yep.
And
what
I'm
do we
like,
got?
okay, if
What
Rick's
do we
in on
have
this, then
that
okay, I'm
those
good.
psychopaths want?
I mean, I don't always agree
And there's
with
really
him
only one
100%
thing.
on
Well,
a few
two
things.
things.
Well, I mean, I agree with
And
that.
they're
Yeah, right, no,
100%,
right,
yeah.
but that
is
dude is one
our
smart ass dude.
labor
And so
and our
that's
money.
where I started looking at
It's
this
all
and
they
just
want
kinda
our money and
keeping
they
it in
want
the
us
back
to
of my
work
head.
to make them
And now
more
that
money.
we
It's
are
all they really care
literally
about.
have
Of
bombed
us.
a country, like
Um,
not even with drones.
We need a general
We've
strike
Sent our big shit
and like a real one, like at
and,
least a week long.
to against a
And
country
I
who
really
has not
think
attacked
that's all we got
anybody in
left.
200 years. That's going to do any good. Have
keep-
they
I
helped
was
other
at a
countries?
protest
Yes,
yesterday.
they have. But that's a discussion we can keep going
I
out
thought
there.
I thought
and
they
waving
were
our
bombing
signs and
it. I
doing
thought they
this
bombed
chanting
Israel.
and all that jazz. That's fine, but
Well, they have been
we've been
now
doing
after
that for
Israel started
years now.
Go,
and
when
it's
it
really
started
not
bombing
doing
them.
anything.
Oh,
So,
But I mean,
No,
like
I
we
feel-
need to stop
I feel
working.
so stupid. I don't know who bombed
we
who
need to
first.
Israel went,
Israel
which means
is-
we
okay.
need to plan for this and do a sort of amazing amount of
so
mutual aid.
anyway, general strike. And
So
so I just want to put it out
that's-
there. I think we might be talking about
the
that a
conclusion I've
bit,
come up with
and we
in
might
the
be
last-
I
using.
mean,
our
you're not
social
wrong.
media to
I've actually
promote
seen
that.
other people talk
And
about that
go
as
to
well
the link
online.
that we'll put
Yeah.
in there, and you can check
Again,
it out for
on-
yourself.
mostly
And
on
if you think
Reddit.
it's not worth it, that's fine.
So I think
But,
they're actually,
you know,
if
you can
and I do
plan-
not remember if I mentioned this.
If
on the show
you
before,
a person
and if I
who
have, I
has stable
apologize.
employment,
there is
and
a
you can plan to take a
group
week
of
off,
folks who are
whether it's calling
have
in
been
sick
working
for a
on
week
this. They
or
have
planning
this
a vacation
mathematical
whenever this
formula
gets
that says
decided,
if X number
or
of
just
people,
walk the fuck out.
actually, I can.
you should
as I'm
plan
telling
around
you
that.
about it, I can pull
Pro-
that
yeah.
in real
To
quick.
think about taking like a week off.
And
Don't
if
know
X
when,
amount of people do
but
this,
it's got to be
actually have an
relatively
effect.
soon because
And
before
believe it
we
was
really
15%.
fucking blow
Hold on.
the world up.
Ooh,
So
that's still a lot of
I
people.
feel like it's
I
got
may
to
have
be
it wrong.
businesses that
Okay.
matter.
'Cause I'm like,
don't you feel?
15%?
you want it to, but you got to take what you can get.
Because I'm just using myself for an example.
I mean, I feel.
I mean,
I was
work
reading like
for
online that the
a,
amount of people protesting
you
on the
know,
No Kings
an
protest was
independent,
like
independent, you know,
3.8% of the
company,
population.
I'll get into
and my
it. So-
boss is
and
that was a lot of people.
It's
a
called
woman,
generalstrikeus.com. I will
Asian,
link to it in the
like,
show
you
notes.
know,
You
it's
can
like-
go
I
ahead understand. and
Yeah,
check it
so
out.
it's like I mean, not that I mean,
So what is
and she's
needed,
amazing
I
and
don't know what
awesome,
percentage this
but
is.
I'm like,
This is the exact number.
am I
of
supposed to not go
people
to?
needed
I
to
mean,
go on
it's
general
not like I
strike that
couldn't,
these
but
folks-
I
Well,
wouldn't want to screw. I like that's somebody I actually care about,
No, I
and like
understand.
feel.
And that's
people.
where the planning part comes in. That's where the
Yeah,
mutual
that
aid
is a lot
comes
of
in.
people.
That's might even be her participating in this in solidarity, if she can. I don't know.
Right,
That's what
right,
5%.
because maybe
or
Right,
11
so
million.
that's-
can't. Maybe she can't.
Oh,
afford
so
it.
then it doesn't seem as high.
So
Okay.
that's what we got to.
Well, then we could do
work
that
out, but I
because
just
think
think
about all the
that-
people that were out protesting.
all the
Yeah. So I'm
strategery
like-
around
I'm thinking
protests
So
and
I'm looking
marches
through this
and all that
site,
jazz. I think
and
the
I'm like,
energy's
all right,
got
so
it. That's not hitting
me.
them.
Every
That's not
time,
making a
everything
dent
I
in
look
shit.
at, even
And
the
what's going to do
5,
that is not giving
105,
whatever that
these
number
rich
is, fucks our labor. And not
I
giving
look
them
at
their
who's
money
running
buying
it,
their
and it
stuff.
tells me
Right. I'm trying more and
You know,
more.
what
I'm
they're-
really trying. Like I want to buy
what they're
a new
if they're
shirt
really gonna
for
do anything.
Pride,
So let me.
but I don't know. I want
Which
to buy
organizations do you
something.
partner with? So
I
I'm starting to
prefer to
look
buy
at this
something
group,
from
and-
a company that is queer owned. Something local possibly as well.
No.
But I
Which
just wanted
says
to
if
get a
you
new
would like to
shirt. But
explore
I was about to buy one, then I
there's
was like,
something in here.
you
'Cause
know
I've
what?
seen
I
it
don't
because
really know this
Fund
company,
You,
so
no, that's
I'm
not
not
it.
gonna. I think I'm gonna.
We got
Gonna wait on it.
That's,
Yeah.
that's what we have. This society is
leader.
set up for. Sorry, we're not being too funny right now, but the
That's sorry.
society is set up that money talks.
Okay.
and
So,
that's what we got.
I would love to be
Like
funny.
the Black Panther Party of
But
Washington State.
yeah, there's not a
Okay.
lot of funny happening right now. To be honest, I mean,
the
though.
California
Well,
National
I
Party,
did
which
just
I'd never
see
heard of.
a video that I
Um,
reposted today about using
Claim Our
humor
Space Now, some New York City
to
thing.
as a coping
And I'm-
mechanism instead
you know, I'm
of
going and I'm
dealing
looking
with the
at what
problem.
some of these
And I was
groups
like,
are,
oh,
and
I don't know
haven't
anything
heard a lot
about
of them,
that.
so, like, go down
No,
a
I'm
little
I'm
bit
like,
more,
that's my
and
whole
I'm kinda
freaking life. My whole family's
I've
that
heard
way.
of.
So okay, so we're going to
get
talk
into it.
about something now. That
We're gonna-
this is segue, but
Ro-
check
is
out
it a
the general
Rochester
strike
thing?
stuff. And
No,
don't
no,
worry,
this
we'll
is
be talking
totally
about
national.
some more.
Yeah.
This is a totally
So
national
speaking about using humor,
first was Upstream
So,
podcast,
which I've heard
I
them,
don't.
and
I
I've
only
listened
saw
to their stuff.
two
and
things.
They're pretty
on
rad.
social
I
media
was
about
like,
this,
and then I saw it got quote unquote fixed.
And then other people,
But we got
because
we've talked about COVID Kevin
are
before.
people who I've talked about.
So you know
like
what I'm talking
Richard
about,
Wolff.
right?
Okay.
Yep.
About
And
him
I'm like,
playing
yeah,
at the
Rick's in
about
on
being
this,
up.
that-
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I'm good.
a local comedy club.
I mean, I
which
don't always agree with him.
we have
100% on a few things.
Well, I mean, I agree
advocated
with
for
that
it,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
But that dude is
declared
one smart-ass
that
dude, and so
did something there.
That's
we
where
went
I
to
started
it.
looking at
Mhm.
this and just
I
kind
know
of keeping it in the
that
back of my head.
someone who
and now
works
that
there
we are
is not a friend
literally
of our shows.
have bombed a country,
Our
like
buddy
not even with
Vinny.
drones. We've sent our
so
big shit.
I'm finding more and more
And,
out that
against a
they're a
country
really
who has
shitty
not attacked
company.
anybody in 200
so
years.
there was always that kind of vibe.
Have
so
they
I
helped
was
other
never
countries?
really
Mutual friend of ours
Super.
sent
That's a
me a
discussion
message
we
on
can
Facebook.
talk about.
I thought there was bombing
we can
in.
talk
I thought they
about
bombed
that.
Israel.
So, but like I said, my vibe always.
Well, they have been
I
now
always got a
after
kind of
Israel
vibe
started.
with that place.
Because
Just
when
I
they
don't
started
know,
bombing
man,
them,
something
Oh,
about it.
okay.
But I
Even
mean,
though
like, they've had
I
every
feel-
once in a while someone
I
come in and be like,
feel
"Oh,
so
I wouldn't
stupid.
mind seeing them."
Well, I mean, Kevin
Israel
Nealon
was-
is
yeah,
here.
yeah.
I
Okay.
fucking love Kevin Nealon. He's hilarious.
So anyway, general.
But
and
So
so
they were
I just
having
want to put it
the
out there. I think
funniest person
we might be
in
talking
Rochester
about that a
contest,
bit, which
and
you
we
know,
might be using our
okay,
social
that's,
media
that
to
sounds
kind
like
of that.
most
Oh, yeah,
cities do
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Go to the
And somebody
we'll
made
put
a
in there.
comment that
You
last
can check
year
it
a
out for
person
yourself.
from Buffalo
And
won it,
if you
which I
think it's
thought
not
was
worth it,
hilarious.
that's fine.
funny.
Yeah.
But this year
You
they
know,
put out
you
the
can
lineup of
plan
who was competing.
If
and
you
one of
a
them was
person who has
COVID
stable
Kevin, who
employment,
we've talked about on the show.
and
The
you can
guy who
plan
stalks
to
Black
take a week
Lives
off,
Matter people. He's definitely has
whether
mental
it's
health
calling in
issues.
sick for a week
And
or
he's-
planning
this
a
dude is
vacation
just-
when
He's
whenever
having
this
out
gets
there.
He's
decided.
like, I think
or
somebody
just walk the
commented
fuck
on
out.
my page post about it. Like,
you should
I
plan
could see
around
this
that.
person
Yeah.
literally.
Think about
shooting
taking
up
like a week off.
somewhere.
Don't
Maybe.
away, but it's got to be
He's-
relatively
on-
soon
he's
because
not.
before
I mean,
we
like
really
you said, he's
fucking blow
not.
he
He shows
there
other
in that.
things and
So-
he talks a lot
I
of
feel
shit.
like it's
I've
gotta
never
be
seen him
businesses
do
that
anything,
matter,
but
don't
yeah,
you
I could
feel?
see him
snapping.
You want it to, but you
That's
got
what
to
I
take what
mean.
you can But
get.
he was on the list.
Because
They
I'm
had
just-
the list of
I'm
all these
just
kids, and
using
there was
myself
like
for an
over
example.
12 people.
Yeah.
Could've
I
been
mean,
closer
I
to
work
20.
for
And he
a
was on that list.
you know,
I'm like
an
what
independent,
fucking stand up
independent,
this dude had?
you know,
I know.
company.
I know. Hey, what's
and
up with black
my
people,
boss
huh?
is a, yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
like,
a woman.
I can't even
an
imagine.
Asian.
Just
like,
yeah.
you know, it's
so
like-
I'm guessing enough
yeah,
people
so it's like,
complained
I
or
mean,
they took
not
him
that
off the
I mean,
list.
and,
Oh, they
and she's
did,
amazing and awesome, but
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
am I supposed to
I
not
called
go
them
to?
out,
I
too.
mean,
I
and
was
it's not like I
called them out.
couldn't,
Right,
but
that's
I
why I
wouldn't
said
want to
that.
screw.
That's
I
why
like
I
that's
said
something I
that.
actually care
So
about,
no,
and like,
but I just
and
found it
that's
hilarious that
that's
he'd be
where
on
the
there to
planning
begin
part
with.
comes in. That's where the
Yeah.
mutual aid comes in. That's might even
That's
be
comedy right there.
her participating in this in
amazing.
solidarity.
Yeah.
If
All right,
she
that is
can.
kind of
I don't know. That's
right,
what I'm-
right, because
Maybe
maybe
I'll give them one more
Right.
shot.
So that's
Maybe she
maybe
can't.
I'll give them one more shot.
Dude,
I
but
don't
the
know.
message you
So
got.
that's what we got.
Yeah, so yeah, because
work out,
one,
but I
yes,
just
a
think
mutual friend
that
of ours
the
did message me
around
privately and say
protests and
that
marching
this is
for
kind of
knowledge,
their
as I think the energy's got it. That's
yeah,
not
actually,
hitting.
yeah.
That's
Kind
not
of this
making
is
a
their
dent in the
MO
shit.
that they
And
are
what's
kind
gonna
of
do
known
that
to
is
be
not giving
okay with
these
people
rich
being
fucks our labor
racist and
and not giving
sexist
them our
and
money and buying
ableist
their
and all
stuff.
that kind of
Right.
nasty shit.
I'm
that
trying
we
more and
don't-
more.
We're not.
I'm
cool
really
with.
trying. Like I want to buy
somebody else.
I saw
a new
posted
shirt.
What, like
for,
Vinnie Paulino?
Pride.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
Somebody
know.
else
I want to buy
posted that
something.
they worked there
I
short for
prefer
a
to buy
while, and
something
they
from
said to this
a company
person
that
you were
is
just going to have
queer
to
owned,
be okay with hearing
something
like
local, possibly
like
as well.
white people
Yeah.
saying
But
the
I
N
just
word
wanted
and
to get
stuff
a
like
new
that.
shirt.
Oh,
But okay with
I was
it.
about to buy one, and then I was like, you know, I don't really know this company.
What?
so
No,
I'm not gonna-
no.
I'm gonna
It's, we got to
wait on it.
That's,
Yeah.
that's what we have. This
I know,
society
that's what I
set up-
mean.
We're
Like, when
sorry,
I
we're not
heard-
being
when
too
I-
funny right now, but
when I
the
read a
society is
couple
set
things
up
about it,
that
I was like,
money
oh,
talks.
this place really.
And
Well,
that's
I mean,
what we
it's-
got.
I would love to be funny.
You can still
it's
be-
sucky,
you
but
can still be angry and
yeah,
use
there's not a lot
humor.
of funny happening.
There's
Somebody
somebody
was
who
being
can't
honest.
find
I mean,
a perfect example. He's
well,
doing
I did
stuff
just see
on,
a video that I
YouTube.
reposted
He's doing stuff
today
on
about
Rumble.
using
He's
humor
doing things
to
his
as a
show
coping
is now
mechanism
actually
instead
on
of
Means TV, a place
dealing
that
with the
I've,
problem.
like the
And I was like,
Netflix for,
oh, I don't know anything about that.
revolutionaries, people who wanna fuck up
I'm
the
like,
world.
that's my whole freaking life.
And,
my whole family's
which
that
I am
way.
a subscriber.
So,
We should-
okay,
I like
so
all
we're gonna
the
talk about
comedians that are
something
out there
now
that people didn't
speak-
know
this
were
is
actually
segue, but
quote
check
unquote
out the
woke
general strike
people
stuff,
and
and
aren't
then don't worry, we'll be
assholes
talking about
like
some-
Tom Papa.
So
He's
speaking
one
about
that
about
he's
using
been
humor.
he's been pretty outspoken about what it is.
I don't.
He's
I
a
only
comedian.
saw
He's been around for
two
yeah.
things
If you look
on
him up,
social
you'll go,
media
oh,
about
that guy.
this, and then I saw
He's
it
been
got
around for a
quote
long
unquote
time.
Fixed.
But
But
yeah,
we got-
he
'cause
speaks
we've
up
talked
against
about COVID Kevin before.
the
So you know what I'm
the
talking
Nazi
about,
regime
right?
that we have here.
Oh, about him playing
Yeah,
at the
right now.
about being
and
up
stuff
yeah.
like that, and people get mad at him, and it's like
we
they didn't know that he was already this way, and they're mad
like
at
when
him.
Kelsey Clare
Same thing.
did
Zach
that,
Galifianakis
did
is
something
another.
there. We went to it. The club.
Mildly familiar.
I
but
know
not much,
that
to be honest with you.
someone who
Zach
works
Galifianakis
there
is
is
an-
not
or
a
no,
friend
not-
of our shows. Our buddy
Zach
Vinny.
Galifianakis.
I don't know.
No, not him.
So
I'm finding
Somebody else
more
I'm
and more
thinking of.
out
Anyway, I can't think
that they're a really
Who does
shitty
the-
company.
yeah, so
does the
there was
Hot
always that
Pocket
kind of
jokes?
vibe. So I was never really
Mutual
Oh my
friend
super.
of ours
god,
sent me a
redheaded
message
guy
on
who's
Facebook.
really tall.
Oh,
Okay, well, you can tell
Jim
me off-
Gaffigan.
Yes.
So, but I like
Yeah,
I
he
said,
did,
my,
but he's
my
kind
vibe
of
always
a- he's a
I always got a
Zionist.
caught a
Oh,
vibe
he
from that place.
is.
There's always that little
Something
weakness.
about
Yeah,
it.
he's
Kinda
even though they've had every once in a while.
Yeah, I
somebody come
found
in and
out
be,
that
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
somebody,
Well, I mean, Kevin
another
Nealon is here.
guy who used to speak
Okay.
out a
Fucking love
lot
Kevin Nealon.
against
He's hilarious.
Trump and everything
but-
is also
so they were
a
having
Zionist.
the funniest,
Which is
person in
fascinating.
my
And then
because
really
some
made
of
me
Jim
sad.
Gaffigan's jokes
Okay,
were about
that's- that
colonialism.
sounds like most
Yeah.
cities do
Which
that.
is, you know, you're like,
and
you're
somebody
like,
made a comment
bro,
that last year a person
like
from Buffalo
the
won
biggest
it,
one
which I
we got
thought was
going right
hilarious.
now, and
Yeah.
you're not. But this year they put out the lineup of who was
That's so
competing,
disappointing when
and
you
one of
find
them
out.
was
Well, you know
COVID
what?
Kevin, who we've talked
I've
about on the
also
show. The
seen
guy
people-
who
there was someone-
stalks Black
woman
Lives
who
Matter.
supposedly
People,
is
he definitely has mental health issues,
famous. I
and
wouldn't
he's
know who she
this
was.
dude
Mhm.
who came out and said,
He's-
"Effing out there." I didn't
He's
know.
like
Now
I think
know,
somebody
and fuck that
commented
shit.
on my page.
kinda-
Oh
posted
yeah,
about
I
it,
mean,
like,
if
I could see
if
this
somebody
person
comes back,
literally
if
shoot
Jim
him.
Gaffigan comes out and goes, "Oh,
Maybe.
I didn't know all this other shit. I just
he's
found
on.
out. My
He's
bad."
he's not.
I mean, like
I mean,
you
yeah,
said, he's
I
not-
give.
He shows
there
people
and
things
that.
and he
People
talks a lot of
fuck
shit.
up-
I've
I mean, I
never
fuck
seen
up all the
him
time.
do
We all know I
anything,
fuck
but yeah,
up.
I could see him.
We had a
snapping.
whole big thing about it when
That's
I
what I mean.
fucked up.
But he was on the list.
So,
They had
I
the
know
list
good
of all
people
these people,
fuck
and there
up.
was like over 12 people. Could have been closer to 10.
All right, mhm.
And he was on that list.
Jim.
I'm like,
Jim,
what
that's
fucking
disappointing.
stand up with this dude had?
I know. Oh, it's Michael
Hey,
Rappaport.
what's up
That's
with
who I
black
was thinking
people,
of.
huh?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
wait. I can't even
That
imagine.
crazy ass mother. Oh, that
Just-
guy. Needs
yeah,
to-
so
he
I
needs
guess
to be
enough people
thrown into the
complained where
sea.
they took him off the list.
Yeah, but
Oh,
he
they
used to. I
did?
mean,
Yeah.
his rant
Yeah.
against Trump,
Oh,
like back
I
in
called him out
back
too.
in his
I was
first
one of the people
term.
that called him out.
I
Right,
remember
that's
he
why I
had this
said.
amazing
That's
rant
why-
against
look
him,
at
and
that.
it was fucking
So
awesome.
yeah, but I just thought it was
And then I
hilarious that
just
he'd be
saw
on
a
there to
rant
begin with.
Hit
That's just
about
That's comedy
Gaza,
right there.
and I was like,
It's amazing.
"Oh my god,
Yeah.
you are!
All right, that is kind of amazing.
You really are a piece of
Maybe
shit."
I'll give them one
Oh,
more shot.
Rappaport, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
like,
I'll
oh
give
my
him one
god,
shot.
you
I
really
don't
are a
know.
sucky
You got it.
person.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah, I didn't know you sucked. I thought you were
some
actually
mutual friend
kind of cool.
of ours.
Oh, no,
did
you
message
suck.
me
Like he was,
privately
he
and
was
say
just
that
like, yeah,
this is
let's
kind of their,
you know, kind of basically just like bomb the
yeah,
shit
actually,
out of
yeah.
them. I don't, you
kind
know,
of this is their MO.
kind of like
that they are
Kill the
kind
kids
of known
or
to
whatever.
be.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
what the
he's
fuck is
saying
wrong with
with
you?
people being
He's-
racist.
Oh man, yeah, that guy could
sexist
just
and
fucking-
ableist and all that
you
kind of
can
nasty
go
shit
to
that
hell.
we don't. We're
You
not
can go
cool
to hell
with.
and you can die.
So
somebody
okay,
else.
so this is
saw
no
posted-
segue.
Like
This is just a
Vinnie
hard
Yeah,
turn. So
exactly.
I just thought I would tell you the beer we're drinking.
Somebody else posted
Um,
that they
I did
worked
this on
there short
purpose.
for a while, and
I
they
do.
So
said to this person,
years ago,
you were just going to have to
and
be
boy,
okay
you have to go
with
back and
hearing
way
like
into the archives
the
for me
like
to talk
white
about
people
this on
saying
the
the
show.
N word and stuff like that,
when
and
I
be okay
first
with
got
it.
to Hawaii,
And
there are no more archives, so
what?
No,
but it's there.
no.
Trust me, it's
trust
there.
me, it's there. And so when I got to Hawaii, and this is
I
beer
know
that
that's what
I've
I
had
mean.
so-
Like when I heard that, when I
Rochester before, a long time
I read
ago.
a couple things about it, I was like,
I don't
oh, this
necessarily
place really
go to beer, but
they suck.
we've had it many.
You
a
can
time.
still
They're sucky
be,
You
people.
can
say
still be
we've had
angry
it
and
many
use
times.
humor. And
There's so many ways to be
Camp is
funny.
a
Perfect
perfect example.
He's
Yeah.
doing
in
stuff
the,
on
YouTube. He's doing stuff on Rumble.
whatever their
He's
version
doing
of
things.
Speed
his
Pass
shows
or
now
gas
actually
station
on
convenience store.
TV, a place
There's
that
all
I've-
these generic
like
ones
the
too.
Netflix,
But in the ones there on the island of Maui, there's the
revolutionaries,
beer
people who wanna
section,
fuck
and you
up the
have
world.
the usuals. You're going to
And,
find your
which I
cheap
am a
beers
subscriber.
and the
I
usual
like all
beers and
the
all that jazz.
comedians
What
that
do
are
they
out there
have,
that
like
people
Budweiser
didn't know.
and-
where
Yeah,
it's
that
like,
kind
do
of
they
thing,
have
whatever.
Canadian quote unquote
Well,
woke
that's what I'm saying.
people
There
that
was
aren't
fucking
assholes
Moosehead.
like Tom Papa?
Like what?
He's one
and I was
that
like,
he's
I remember
been
my
out-
first
he's been
week there.
pretty
I need some
outspoken
beer. And I
about
went, go
what
because
is
this one place
He's
was
a,
right on the
he's
corner
a
from my house.
comedian. He's been around for
like
like
convenience
yeah,
store.
yeah. If you look
And
him
there's
up, you'll go,
goddamn
oh, that
Moosehead.
guy. He's been around for a
Not
long
like,
time.
oh, here's a special.
But,
We never
yeah,
get
he
this.
speaks
This
up
fell off the
against,
back of a truck. This is like
the
we always have Moosehead.
the Nazi regime
Like,
that
all
we have
things.
here.
Of all the
in our-
things.
Of all the
So
things to go all the way to Hawaii and stuff
Right,
like that,
and
and
there's
people get
Moosehead.
mad at him, and it's
So
like, huh?
going
They didn't
to
know
Michigan
that he was already this way.
last
It's just
year.
the distributor, of course.
Same
but
thing. Zach
still a long
Galifianakis
ass
is
way.
another.
To distribute,
Yeah, to
mildly
distribute.
from
Yeah.
so
Not much.
Yeah.
going to Michigan
Zach-
last year
Zach
for
Galifianakis
whatever,
is in
something in
there. Or no,
his
not-
family.
Is it Zach
we-
Galifianakis?
I don't
No,
know.
no,
Stopped
no,
at
no,
the
no, no,
duty
no,
free
not
shop.
him.
Which every
Somebody
shop
else
should be
I'm
duty
thinking
free.
of.
But that's
Anyway,
that's
I
another.
can't think of who.
yeah. So
Who does the?
we go in and there was
Who does the
Moosehead.
hot
I
pockets?
was like, oh my god, I haven't had a Moosehead in so long.
Oh
All
my
right, fine. I'm
God,
gonna grab a couple
redheaded
cans.
guy
You can
who's
buy by the
really
can.
tall.
Oh, and so I was like,
Jim
you know what?
Gaffigan?
This
Yes.
was tasty. It
Yeah,
brings
he
back
did, but
memories.
he's
kind
good-
of
good memories.
Zionist.
Good
He's a
memories.
Zionist.
Next time we
Oh,
come
he
through, I'm gonna get a
is.
case.
There's always that little weakness. Yeah,
So-
he's kind of a
There it
Zionist
is.
there.
So
Yeah,
I'm
I
told
found
we have
out
to go to
that
Michigan.
somebody,
graduation
another
party.
guy who used
Not gonna
to
get started
speak
on
out a
because
lot against
we made
Trump
this
and
whole
everything is
trip.
also a
I
Zionist.
took a day off of
Which
work
is
from
fascinating
school.
And then
because
really
some
made
of
me
Jim
sad.
Michigan's jokes
Party.
were about
Mhm.
colonialism.
We
Yeah.
may have been
Which
there
is,
an hour and a half.
you're like, bro, that's like
It's a long
the
way to
biggest
go
one we
for
got
an hour and a
going
half.
right
It
now.
is. And you're
Well,
not
got to
okay.
hang out with Julia a bit.
Yeah, that's so
other things
disappointing
too.
when you
But
find
I'm
out.
wondering. Well,
That
you know
was the
what?
main reason we were
I,
going.
I've also
and we
seen
were there
people.
maybe
There
an
was
hour and a half.
someone woman who
And I knew,
supposedly
like,
is two people there.
Was
Famous.
it her
Well, I wouldn't know who it
mom's
was.
son?
Mhm.
Was
Who
her
came out and
mom's?
said
It was a
Julia's
cousin.
I didn't know.
cousin
Now
who
I
we
know.
hadn't-
And
who
fuck
she
that shit.
hadn't
Okay.
seen
That's
in-
kind of-
Oh yeah, I mean, if
So,
if somebody
so
comes
it's-
back,
So-
if Jim Gaffigan
I
comes
went, you know
out and
what?
goes,
If
oh,
I'm
I
going
didn't
to
know all
Michigan
this other
again,
shit. I just
and
found
usually
out. My
from
bad.
here you cut
Sorry
through
about
Canada.
that. I mean, yeah, I
rather
give,
than
if
going
people
underneath
say,
the Great Lakes
people
and
it
go
would
through
make
Ohio,
sense.
it's
I mean, I
much,
fuck up all the time.
much
We all know
quicker.
I fuck up.
Like almost half the
We
time.
had a
a little
whole
less than
big
half the
thing
time.
about it when I
or a little
fucked
bit
up.
more than half the time. I mean,
If you go into,
to go
I
through
know good
Canada.
people fuck up.
So this house, I'm
But-
getting a case
All right,
of Moosehead. So
Jim,
damn it, I made sure if
Jim,
you're
that's
dragging my ass to
disappointing.
Michigan, I'm getting me some Moosehead.
oh, it's
So
Michael
we're coming
Rappaport.
back.
That's who I was thinking of.
And we go in,
wait.
and
That
I
crazy
go right
ass
to
one?
where
Oh,
it is.
that
I'm
guy
like, I'm
needs
not
to-
here to fuck
he
around. I'm
needs
just
to
going to
be
get what I
thrown into
want.
the sea.
And we're going.
Yeah, but
And
he
I
used to. I mean,
steal the case
his
of Moosehead
his
and get it,
rant
and I put it
against
in the
Trump,
cart.
like back
And
in
just as I'm
his first
turning
term.
on the other
I remember he
side
had this amazing
beer
rant against
that I'd
him, and it
only
was
read about.
fucking
a
awesome.
beer that I
And
just
then I
thought
just
would
saw a
never
rant
try. Not that
About
just, when I tell you what it is, you'll be like,
Gaza,
oh, of course I would.
and I
really
was
try this.
like, oh
So
my
it came
God,
out
you
about 5
are,
or 6 years ago from a brewery.
you really
up in
are a piece of
Toronto,
shit.
And
Oh, Rep
apparently it was
Morris, yeah.
only available.
Yeah,
there.
I'm like, oh my
It's not-
God,
it's not
you
like in the
really
Toronto,
are a
I'm not going up
sucky
there for
person.
Yeah,
can of
he
beer.
knows.
I didn't know you
And
sucked. I thought you were
there
actually
were
kind of cool.
bright, shiny
Oh, no, you
cans
suck.
and 6-packs.
Like he was, I
saying,
mean, he was
"Dave,
just like,
you
yeah,
need
let's
to
just,
buy Rush
kind of
beer."
basically just like bomb the shit out of him. I don't, kind of like.
So
Does
Kill
it have
Kids,
like a
whatever.
Yeah,
Yes,
like, what the
it
fuck
has
is wrong with
the
you?
2112.
Oh,
It is the
man, yeah, that guy
2112
could just
star with the naked
fucking-
guy doing the thing.
Oh, my goodness.
I have the cans
You
downstairs.
can go to hell and you can die.
So
They weren't
okay,
cheap.
so this is
It
no
was-
segue.
it was
This is
like
just
$3
hard
a
turn.
can,
So I just
and I
thought I
bought
would
2
tell you the
6-packs.
beer we're drinking.
So
I did
It's
this on
not-
purpose.
I actually kind of like it. I do.
It's
So,
it's
years
blonde
ago,
ale. That
and it
does
boy,
have
you'd
a
have to go
little
back
bit
into
of
way into the
hoppiness to
archives for
it
me
that
to
I
talk
don't
about
usually
this on
like,
the
but
show.
it's not overwhelming.
When
It's
I
actually
first got
almost
to
like
Hawaii,
the kind from
and
Three Heads.
there are no more
I would
archives.
probably like it. But it's
A
there.
little
Trust
less
me,
than
it's
that.
there.
It's there, that, but still, you can
And
totally.
so when I
can
got to
totally taste it,
Hawaii,
for sure. and this is beer that I've
but-
had here, and it's only
Rochester
5.5%.
before, a long time ago.
But it was
I
still
don't
not necessarily
necessarily
the
the
go-to beer,
I'm
but
like,
we
why is
we've
this
had
thing
it
kicking
many
me-
a
hitting me
enough
like
times
this?
to say
weird.
we've had it many times.
But yeah, and
So I had
when I got to Hawaii,
so I
of all
got
places,
I walked out of there
in
like
the
I spent like $80 on beer.
But you were so happy.
Whatever their
You were so
version of
happy.
it
was
was
so
so
happy.
Speed Pass.
It was so
or,
dumb. You know
what,
gas
sometimes
station
you
convenience
just
store.
need to
You
treat
know, there's all these
yourself.
generic
Yeah,
ones.
so-
Treat yourself.
But
Moosehead-
the
so
ones that
I
on
was
the
trying to
island of
get
Maui,
our
there's
friend
the beer
Cheese to come
section,
over.
and you have
The
and
usuals.
have.
I
I was
was
going to
gonna
surprise
find
him
your
because cheap
I don't think the
beers
last
and
time he's
the
had
usual
this.
beers and all that
And
jazz.
he-
And
What is
there
it?
was
Do they
come
have like
and then he had to
Budweiser?
cancel.
and
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
like,
that kind
do
of
they
thing,
have
whatever.
Canadian beer?
Well,
So
that's what I'm
no
saying.
Moosehead.
Did
So it was
somebody,
fucking
is somebody
Moosehead.
moving?
No, like,
It's like-
and I was like,
I
I
don't know
remember
what
my
it is.
first week there. I need some
I don't
beer,
know.
and I went go because this one place
just
was
seems
right
like
on the
there's
corner from
always
my house, and I
somebody
go into this
moving.
gas station
This
convenience
family's
store,
so big,
and there's
always
goddamn
somebody.
Moosehead. Like,
Well,
not
there's
like,
nothing
oh,
for
here's
the
a
show, but I
special.
will
We
tell
never
you
get
guys.
this fell off the back of a truck.
Okay.
This is like
I'll
we
say
always
this,
have
nobody's
Moosehead.
pregnant
Like,
again.
of all things.
Of all the things.
Of all the things to go all the way
We
to
thought
Hawaii.
There was
Right,
nobody
and
pregnant
there's Moosehead.
anymore, and then bam,
Right.
it happened.
It happens
So,
again.
again.
We get
going
pregnant.
to
No, that
Michigan,
that appears to be.
uh,
Well,
Well,
last
it's just
year,
the distributor, of course, but
but that's a
still.
long ass
No,
way
there's-
to
there's-
distribute
Yeah, to
Moosehead.
Michigan. Yeah.
So, going to Michigan
Everybody's
last year
okay.
for whatever,
Okay,
something
that's
in
good.
Eve's family.
Oh, cheese.
We stopped
Jesus.
at the duty free shop,
Jesus is the right.
which every shop should be duty free.
Oh my
That's,
God.
that's another.
I
What?
think the next time I
So,
see one, I'll call them cheeses.
We go in and there was Moosehead.
Careful, you're
Oh
out
my
of
God,
that's
I haven't
slow.
had a Moosehead in so long.
Oh,
All
that's
right, fine. I'm
crazy.
gonna
Yeah,
grab a
yeah.
couple cans. You can buy by the can.
Sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
right.
you know what?
Aren't-
This was tasty.
Aren't they?
It brings back memories,
This is
kind of
good-
thing.
good memories.
Or
Or they
good
used to
memories.
be, or
Next
they're
time we
kind
come
of.
through,
There are
I'm gonna
members
get a
of the
case of
family
Moosehead. in the
So-
church.
in the
and then
church.
There it
there
is.
are So
Some
I'm
who
told
are
we have to go to
around
Michigan.
to the church. We'll leave it
There's
at
this
that.
graduation party, which I'm not going to get started on.
So,
the last
Damn it, it would be funny.
we
otherwise.
made this whole
Yes.
trip.
If it
We-
wasn't-
I took
if
a
it
day off
wasn't,
from
it'd
work
be
from
fine.
we
School.
could call him Jesus.
He
He go to
would-
Michigan for
I-
this.
he wouldn't
party.
care too much. I don't
we
think
may
he would.
we
I wouldn't
may have
wanna
been
raise
there
his
an hour and a half.
I mean,
I wouldn't want to make them upset.
We do a lot of drinking
It's a
together.
long way to go for an hour and a half
It
party.
is.
Right.
Well,
God,
and
just
some
hang
of the
out with
bits you
Julia
hear
and
on Super Esther Radio
other things
is
too,
done
but
With-
by
with-
cheese.
that was
by
the main
cheese.
reason we were going, and we were there maybe an
now.
You got me thinking of stuff now.
People.
So,
her
I guess the
mom's
last thing I
stuff? Was
had,
it
I was just
mom's?
going to
Was
give you
it
guys an
cousins,
update of
kids,
my campaign
who we had
for
who
city
she
council.
hadn't seen
And
forever. So whatever.
this is
Okay.
a Sunday, like I
So-
said, and
yeah.
in 2 more days,
I went. You know what?
the local
If I'm going to
primary
Michigan
elections
again,
will be
and
happening.
usually
And
from
once
here
that's
you cut
done,
through Canada.
the
Rather
ballot's
than
set
going
for
underneath the
November.
Great Lakes and
Although
going
It would make
Ohio,
sense.
who's there,
it's
who,
much,
who I'm running
much
against,
quicker. Like almost half
all
the
that
time, a
jazz,
little
and
less than half the time, or a little bit more than
we'll
half the
talk
time.
more
You go
about that
to
into
go
it
through
after
Canada.
it happens, and I'll give you that.
So,
but I will say this:
besides, I'm getting a case of moose.
It's amazing how.
So damn it, I made sure.
Look,
if you're dragging my ass to
I'll
Michigan,
use this
we're-
as an
I'm
example,
getting me
but
some
really,
moose.
it's.
So we're coming
We'll
back.
just say.
I
I
would
wouldn't
go
even call
in,
it historical fiction,
and
but if you see
I
any
go
of
right
the
to where
elections,
it
and I
is.
know
I'm like,
those
I'm
were
not here to
national,
fuck around. I'm just
on
going to get
a
what I
series
want.
like The
and
West
we're
Wing.
going. You
And
know,
I see the case
that
of
things
Moosehead,
can
and I
change.
get it,
You
and
might
I
have a
put it in
plan,
the cart,
and
and
my
just as
quote
I'm
unquote plan
turning
has
on the
changed
other
3 different
side
times already. Of
is
where
a
I was
beer
gonna, how I was
that
gonna
I'd
do
only
things.
read about.
You know,
A beer
I'm
that
on
I
plan
just
X
thought
or
I would
whatever
never
now. I don't know
try.
what
Not
plan
that-
this is.
Just
So,
when I tell you what it is, you'll be like, well,
it
of
looked
course
like
I would
we
wanna
were
try
not
this.
going to participate.
So it came
in
out about
anything
5 or 6 years
parade-y,
ago from a brewery up in
parade-y,
Toronto,
Parade like
and apparently it was only
for,
available
for
there.
Pride
How
or
am I getting
Well,
Toronto? I'm not going up
it
there
looked
for
like
a
for
can of
anything.
beer.
It just
Right.
didn't look
And
like getting
there
people
were
was
bright,
gonna,
shiny
Because I did get that.
cans
I did
and
get Pride off.
six-packs.
well, getting
Saying,
people's going to
saying,
be an
"Dave,
issue.
you need
Just
to
doing
buy
just the
Rush
Green
beer."
Party or just my campaign.
And the reason is there's
So
Does it
I-
have like a like
yes,
how they're-
it has
their
the
logo?
2112. It
That's
is the
also
2112
had been
star
doing
with
it,
the
and
naked
they
guy
plan-
doing
they're
the
doing
Oh my
Pride.
goodness.
I have the
Already
cans
kinda
downstairs.
scooped up most
so
of the people who
they
would
weren't cheap.
be joining.
It was
my-
like $3 a
So
can.
I
and I bought
went,
2 6-packs.
What is it? Which
So-
group is it?
It's not bad.
They're
It's
going by
it's
the
a
name the
blonde
People's
ale
Block.
that
not
does
to
have
be
a
confused with
little
the
bit of
People's Agenda,
hoppiness to it that I
which is
don't
a different
usually
thing.
like,
Sorry,
but it's
local
not
thing,
overwhelming.
sorry.
It's actually almost
but it's
like the kind.
it's from
It's
3 Heads.
mostly
Oh, that would
spearheaded
probably-
by the Finger Lakes
A little less on the hoppy side, than
Party
that, but
for
still, you can
Socialism
totally
and
take. I
Liberation,
can totally
PSL,
taste.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure. Party for Socialism and Liberation,
but
who
and
marched
it's
with
only
us
5.5%
in the
but
but
it
St.
was still
Patrick's Day
kind of
parade.
kicking
So
my
we're
butt.
totally on good terms.
Oh, yeah,
That's
then
not
we
a
all know
problem.
everybody.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Kicking me
no.
like-
It's hitting
hitting
me
me
like
and then
that.
That's
another
weird.
ad hoc group called
but yeah,
Speak Up
so
for
I
Palestine.
had-
Yeah,
so
so
they're
I
doing
got.
Pride,
I walked
and
out of
they're
there
just
like
inviting anybody who wants to
I spent
quote
like
the
$80
People's Block,
beer.
so to
But you were so happy.
And
I was so happy.
so
It was
that
so
was
happy.
so most of the folks who were
It was so dumb.
You know what?
Well,
Sometimes
I was
you
gonna-
just need
we
to
were probably
treat
gonna roll.
yourself.
Yeah,
Treat
so
yourself.
So
we
I was
had
trying to
we
get
have a spot in the
our
parade.
friend Cheese to come
We have
over
a table spot to table
and have. I was going to
Like, and
surprise
their-
him because
their
he. I don't think the
rules
last
this
time
year,
he's
you
had
have to set the
this
table up the day
and
ahead, and you have to
was
be
going
there
to come, and then he had to cancel
early
last minute 'cause
before
of
the
course,
parade
but-
even starts.
course.
So I'm like,
So,
oh,
all right.
no moose.
Did somebody? Is
Screw the
somebody
parade,
moving?
which sucks.
No,
But screw the parade.
It's like, is
I'm going to
somebody
focus
moving?
on
I don't know
the
what
table
it
that
is.
I want to talk to more
Well, that's
people.
when you want
that
to
way.
talk. I mean, that's how you're
Right.
going to actually talk to
there's
people.
always
I mean, the
somebody
parade
moving.
is one thing, but there's so
Family
many.
is so big,
There's
there's
so many
always
people in the
So
somebody
parade.
I am going to direct.
well, there's
try to
nothing
get
for the show,
Greens
but I
who
will
want to
tell
be
you
in the
this.
parade to wear like
Okay.
campaign shirts. And
I'll
be in
say
that
this: nobody's pregnant
section,
again.
be in that block. And do that. So hopefully that
We
get
thought
that.
there was
And
nobody
then I'm gonna-
pregnant
Do you have
anymore, and
do you
then
have
bam,
your
it
own-
happened.
It happens again.
Happened
People
again.
get Or just-
parade.
or
No,
just
that-
Green
that-
Party.
that appears to be-
I do.
well, we'll never say
Okay.
never.
Let's talk.
We'll talk
But
I
no,
do.
they're-
Oh, okay.
But it's quite the
Okay.
interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing, how
Everybody's
things don't
okay.
go how you plan.
Okay, that's
Um,
good. Oh wait, was this the misspell?
Yeah,
Oh,
there's the misspell shirts, but I have new
Jesus.
shirts
Mhm.
that I'm
Jesus
trying to
is
get
right.
printed,
jeez.
and
Oh my
even that's becoming a
God.
fiasco.
Take the next
I
time
need
see
this.
one,
This is
call
what
him
campaign
Jesus.
managers are supposed to do.
Be careful, you're
When
that's
I
the slow.
supposedly had one, and then it fell through.
Oh, that's true. He's
So,
kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
religious, isn't he?
a little bit.
So now I'm
Sort of.
doing both.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Anyway,
Aren't-
so
aren't they
finding out that
Jehovah's?
those
Yeah.
groups
Well,
weren't
yeah.
really
Or they
doing
used to be, or
anything
they're
for
kind
the
of.
other
There are
two big
members of
parades
the
that are in
family
town.
in
So
the
I
church,
approached
in the
them and said,
church.
"Hey,
there
look,
are some
we're
who
getting
are
these spots in these two
around
parades.
the
Why don't you
church
come
who
with
live
us?"
there.
And they were like, "Awesome sauce."
Gotcha.
So
So the last
Damn it, it would be funny otherwise.
didn't
Okay.
actually say
yes,
this.
If it
we-
wasn't, if it
So
wasn't, They
are
probably
going to
don't.
be
We
in
call
the
him
Puerto Rican
Jesus. He
parade.
wouldn't
Right.
He
Which is
wouldn't
where I
care
belong.
too much. I don't think.
And
he
try
would.
to
I
work
wouldn't want
in. There's
I mean,
a,
we
I wouldn't
a
want
few
to make
local
him
people.
We do
upset.
a lot of
who
drinking
are
together.
Sponsoring or are
So
working
you-
for
yeah.
Puerto Rican
Right.
independence.
And some of the bits you
And we're
hear
saying
on
get
Stuart
them to
Badass
come on
Radio
board,
is done.
and then we'll also be
By
able to
Jesus.
By Jesus.
So things change.
Yeah.
Yes, they go. Like
You got-
this.
see, you got me
The,
thinking of stuff now.
so
I knew it was one
I
of
guess
my
the
top
last thing I
issues
had,
that I was
going
gonna
to
give you guys an
and it
update
is,
of
you
my
can see it on
campaign
my campaign
for
list
city
and my
council.
website.
And,
But it's turned out to be such a huge
this
issue
is a Sunday,
that
like I said,
honestly
and in 2
do
more days,
believe
the
this is
local
my chance of
primary
winning,
elections will be
not
happening
as a Democrat.
And once that's
Mhm.
done,
and
the
that is
ballot's
getting
set
rid of our
for
local
November.
utility company and
I'll
replacing
know
it with a
who's
local
there,
utility.
who I'm
We
running
hate
against.
RG&E.
all that jazz,
They
and
suck.
we'll
So
talk
badly.
more about that.
And,
once
after
I will
it
talk about it
happens,
next
and I'll
week.
do that.
But
But
I
the-
will say this:
the
secret weapon, so to speak,
it's
is now
amazing
something
how-
else. I had a secret weapon. It is now changed to this
I'll
new
use this
secret
as an
weapon,
example, but
which
really it's-
will
See, double secret.
We'll just say.
No,
I'm
I
wondering
wouldn't
if we
call
can
it
be able to do the
historical
first
fiction,
secret
but
weapon.
if
If
you've
you've
seen
seen
any
any
of
of
the
the elections, and I know those were
national,
two series like
most
The
people
West
would
Wing,
be happy to have
one
you
secret.
I know.
that things
I
can
know.
change.
But
You might
right
have a
now,
plan.
there's just one.
And
It's a different one.
My
Shit happens.
quote
We'll see
unquote
if the
plan
other
has
one can come
changed
back.
3 different times already.
So where I was gonna, how I was gonna
Um,
do things, and you know, I'm on.
but
plan.
I'm
I
excited.
gotta, but I gotta talk
don't
to
know what
some
I
people. Anyway,
plan this is.
so
It's this.
it
none
looked
of the
like
other
we were
candidates,
not
and
going to
there's like
participate
16
in
plus
anything
candidates
parade
running.
Parade-y.
Parade,
A
like-
lot of them are going to be
Yep.
eliminated on
For,
Tuesday.
for
in the
Pride
primary.
or
And
Well,
there'll be at
it
least
looked like for anything. It just didn't
7
look like
getting people.
at least
with
7
none
of us.
because I did get that.
running in
I
the
did get
general.
Pride
But
off.
it's
Well,
probably
getting
gonna be more
people
like
is
10.
going to be an issue. Just doing
Five
just the Green
Democrats
Party
or just my
because there's
campaign.
5 seats.
And
5 Democrats.
The reason is there's another
5
group,
working
groups
families
slash
party,
group
but
groups
they can be on
kind of
morning.
doing one
That's
line, and
also
there might
had
be
been doing it,
one
and
or
they
two
plan. They're doing
crossovers. I
Pride,
think it's
and
just
they've
gonna
already
be
kind
one.
of scooped
Even then,
up
I'm not
most
sure.
of the people who would be.
But they're
joining
already on the ballot.
those
Mhm.
5. So
and
I
then
kind of
there's
went.
me and
what is it? Which group is it?
a conservative. So
They're going
of
by
them.
the name the People's
of them
Bloc,
are talking
not
about
to
this
be
new
confused with the
public
People's
utility.
Agenda.
And everybody
which is a
complains
different thing.
about
Sorry,
it.
local.
And
thing,
everybody
sorry.
does.
And everybody
But it's it's
even conservatives complain
mostly
about it.
spearheaded
Yeah,
by
the-
the
yeah.
Finger Lakes
biggest
Party
Well,
for Socialism and
we'll have
Liberation.
to get into the weeds for a
Party
minute.
for Socialism
There's a
and Liberation,
local,
who marched with us,
advocacy group.
the Greens,
Well,
in
actually,
the,
I used to be on the
St.
executive
Patrick's Day
board
parade.
way
So
back in
we're
the
totally on
beginning
good
of
terms.
my
Oh, yeah,
That's
then
not
we
a
all know
problem.
everybody.
Yeah, no, that's all good.
Cool.
And then another
used to be completely
ad hoc group
local
called Speak Up for
and
Palestine.
They decided
So they're
for
doing
money
Pride, and they're just
fundraising
inviting
purposes
anybody who wants to quote in the
connect
People's
with
Bloc,
this
so to speak. And
conglomerate.
so that was going
of
to take up most of the folks who were going to radical,
well, I was
but
gonna-
more like liberal
probably gonna
groups,
roll with
Citizen
Green Party.
Action.
So
Alliance
we
for
had
Quality
us- we have a
Education.
spot
They all
in the
sound
parade,
good.
Working
We have a
Families
table,
Party,
spot to table.
I was like,
They all
and they're,
now
their
this
rules
Metro
this year,
Justice.
they
They all
have to set the
sound
table up the day ahead.
very
You have to
cool
be
and
liberal and
early
and very
before
hip
the
and
parade
radical.
even
But
starts.
so I'm like, all
They're
right.
really not. They're more
Screw
just
the parade,
keeping the status
which
quo,
sucks.
but just
Screw
with
the
a nicer
parade.
face
I'm
on
going to
it.
focus on table.
So they're
when it
running
talks
this
about
That's when
campaign
you want
for
to
this
talk. I
public
mean, that's how you
utility,
can
and
actually
they're
talk
doing
to
it all
people.
wrong.
I mean, the parade is one
And
thing,
they've
but
been
there's
told
so
they're
many.
doing it wrong
There's so many people in the
people
parade.
who know
I
how
am
to
going
do
to
things with
direct,
Green Party.
try to get Greens.
And they're
who
still
wanna
doing it
be
that
in the
way.
parade
They're
to
putting
wear,
out
like,
campaign
they're putting
shirts
out
and be in
literature
that
saying these
section,
people
be in
believe in
that
a
block
public
and do that.
utility and
Mhm.
these
So
don't.
hopefully that
and they're
will get
leaving me
that.
off of it.
And then I'm
completely.
going to
Do you have
table.
campaign? Do you have your own campaign shirts?
I'm
Or
the one
just- or
pushing
just
for
Green
it more
Party?
than any other
Oh
candidate.
my God.
And they've totally left me
We'll
out.
talk about it.
So
I do.
Oh,
now
okay.
I'm
But
giving
it's-
him grace
it's a-
until
it's
after
quite
the
interesting.
primary.
Okay.
When
Another thing
people
how
are
things
knocked
don't
off,
go how you
because
plan.
they're saying don't forget the
Um,
primary
Oh wait,
election
was this
is
the
June
misspell?
24th.
Okay, yeah,
there's
yeah.
the
And
misspelled
if they
shirts,
still
but I
do
new
this,
shirts
Mhm.
that I'm
after
trying
the
to get
primary,
printed. And
I'm
even
going
that's
to hammer
becoming
them.
a fiasco.
I'm
Ugh.
tired of their shit.
I need this. This is what
And
campaign
I'm going to
managers are
hammer
supposed to
them.
do.
And I supposedly had one,
and the
it fell
candidates
through.
who,
So
including the ones who have been
So
on
now
city
I'm doing
council
this.
and haven't lifted a finger for this.
Anyway,
who say
so,
that they're for it,
but
but
finding
they
out
won't do
that
shit.
that
those
Yeah,
groups
when
weren't
I
really doing
reposted
anything
your
for
video
the other two
recently,
big
I said,
parades
I
that
don't
are
know
in
if you
town.
saw that.
So I
reposted it,
approached
but I
them and said, "Hey,
mentioned-
look,
yeah, I
we're
mentioned
getting
that,
these spots in these two
I
parades.
said
Why
I will
don't you
not
come
be
with
voting
us?"
for
And they were like,
anybody,
"Awesome sauce."
any of the
So
current candidates
I
for
didn't-
city
I
council.
paraphrased. So I
Okay.
didn't actually say
So they
awesome
won't,
sauce.
none of them.
So-
Right.
So
I
I'm
probably
going to
do.
be
literally
in the
as
Or the
one
parade.
mayor.
parade.
I'm like, I don't want to vote
This
for
is
any of
where I
these
belong.
people.
I
And
don't
try to
remember
work in.
if I said it during last
there's
week's
a,
show.
a
but
few local
during
people
literally
who
during
are
the show, I got a
sponsoring or working
notification
for and a
Puerto
gentleman
Rican
from
Independence,
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. If we can get them to come on board,
donated
and
$50
then we'll
to
also
my
be in the
campaign.
Labor Day
Oh, how
parade.
nice.
Like,
So things
I
change.
don't know who this
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
is.
I don't
Like
know.
this,
I think he
The,
got. You might have gotten my info.
I
from
knew it was
the,
one of my
National
top
Green Party
issues that
website,
I was going to focus
which I
on, and
Oh.
it is. You
did
see
find
it on
out
my campaign
got put up there.
my
Nobody
website.
bothered to tell me.
But it's turned out to be
Okay, it
such
could just
a
be
huge
somebody just
issue
like looking around
that
and going,
I honestly
okay, these are
couldn't
some
believe
places.
This is
Maybe
my
this
chance of
person's
winning.
from here originally,
Not
or,
as a Democrat.
or has people here who
Agreed.
live here.
There's a dude
And
who I
that is
don't
getting
even
rid of
know
our local
who
utility
saw me on
company and
Instagram,
replacing it with a
and
public
now
utility.
on TikTok.
We hate
because,
RG&E.
campaigns on TikTok. now.
They
And
suck
who has been
so badly.
sharing
And,
my
I
stuff.
will talk
I
about
have
it next
no
week,
idea who
but
this
That's
guy
fine.
is.
It's
The
awesome.
He's even
secret
making
weapon,
his own
so to
videos
speak,
going, you
is
need to look at
now
this
something
guy.
else. I had a secret weapon.
I
It
love
is now
that.
changed
Right.
to this
New
new
secret
secret
weapon.
weapon. I mean, I'm thanking him up and
Double
down. I just
secret,
know who
yeah.
this guy is.
No,
I don't know where he's from. I
I'm
don't
wondering
think
if
he's
we
from
can maybe do
Rochester.
the first secret weapon. I would love to have two
Like-
secret weapons.
Not
just
our-
likes
yeah.
your message. Just likes the message.
So
Most
if
people
you're
would be happy
interested,
to have
even
one
if you
secret
know.
live in this area
I know,
and want to help,
but right
because
now,
honestly,
there's just
there will be
one.
ripple
It's a
effects.
different one.
There
There
hasn't
are
been a
different ones. See if the other
non-Democrat
one come
elected
back.
in this town in over 40
So,
years, and getting a Green elected in some place where they don't get
I'm
elected.
excited.
But I
We'll
gotta
show
talk
other
about this.
places that
Anyways,
it's possible. And we'll
It's this
maybe encourage
none of the
other
other
folks
candidates,
who
and there's
don't
like
identify with the
16
Democrats
plus
to run for
candidates
office as
running.
well. So you're
And not necessarily agree.
there's a
Maybe you want
lot
to be
of them are
going to be
independent.
eliminated on
so
Tuesday
I think
in
it
the
helps the
primary,
bigger picture,
and there'll be
to
at
help my
least
campaign. And it's
seven-
pretty simple.
at least 7
You
of
need
us
the W's in there
running in the general,
www,
but it's
and
probably going to be more like
dayforchange.org. And Day for Change is the
5
handles
Democrats,
on
because there's 5
of
seats,
the social
5
medias,
Democrats,
even TikTok. I guess
There's
now I gotta
5
say the only one
Working
I'm not on,
Families
I guess,
Party,
is Snapchat.
but they can be on more
That's
than
not
one
happening.
line, and there might be one
It's not
or two
happening.
crossovers.
I don't even.
It's just gonna be- it's
I
not
feel like
even
that's
that
just like a
much.
hookup place.
But they're
I
already
know
on the
that
ballot. Those
my
5.
daughter and
So,
her
and then there's me
siblings
and a
are
conservative.
have Snapchat
So none of them
group chats and
Right.
shit like that. So I
are talking
the
about this
people
thing
use
with
it to
public
communicate,
And everybody complains about
yeah.
it. I don't think it's
And
anywhere everybody near
and
Democrat.
everybody does. But yeah, either
Even
way, I'm not
even
doing it.
conservatives complain about it.
I am not winning or losing.
I wouldn't even
this
know how you
campaign
would
based
use
on Snapchat.
Snapchat. Even
Well, you
Well,
post
to
pictures, right?
to get into
so
the
it would
weeds
be
with
from
it.
the campaign.
There's a local
don't do,
advocacy group.
but don't they go
Well, actually,
away
I
after
used to be
like?
on
I
the
think so.
executive
Isn't that the
board way
point
back
of
in the beginning
Snapchat?
of my
I
ad.
don't know.
You have to always be
activist
on it
days.
and always have your
Um,
notifications.
Used to be
My
completely
understanding.
local.
Oh,
I am
okay.
literally an
They-
old person
they
decided
talking
for
about
money
kid
per
stuff.
fundraising.
Yeah, I don't
purposes
really know anything
to
about it.
connect
I mean,
with
even when I
this
first heard
you might
about
need a
it,
chip in your neck.
conglomerate of
I just remember when
pseudo
people were first doing it because they
radical,
really
but more
liked
like
the
liberal groups, Citizen
different-
Action,
different
Alliance for
filters you could
Quality
use on your face.
Education. They all
and
sound
stuff,
good.
So people kept
Working
using
Families
it
Party,
just to use the filters.
They all
I'm like,
now
all
this,
right, I
this
guess
group,
I could
Metro
see that.
Justice,
But now they
all
have filters
sound
on like every.
very cool and liberal
all
and,
the things.
and very hip and radical, but
Yeah, you
so
can.
they're
You can make
not.
yourself
They're
a
more
cat
just keeping
on
the
Facebook
status
too,
quo,
so.
but just with a nicer
Okay,
face
if
on
you-
it. So they're running
Yeah,
this
if you
campaign
want
for
to,
this
you
public
know,
utility, and they're doing it all
You do
wrong.
you, boo.
And they've been told they're
You
doing it
can
wrong
go to Reef
by
and
people
do
who
it in real
know
life.
how to do things. Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah.
could.
And they're still doing it that way.
Like our
They're
cat
putting out
girl.
campaigns.
Yeah,
they're putting
cat
out
girl.
literature
Whatever her
saying
name, she wouldn't tell us her
these
real
people
No,
believe
that's
in a
okay.
public
Yeah, that's
utility
fine.
and these don't.
That's why I called her cat
And they're
girl.
leaving me off of it completely. And I don't
She's
feel bad about it because
White tiger.
I'm the one pushing for it more than
Because I
any
like
other
to-
Oh my
candidate.
god.
And they totally left me.
Yeah, so Day for Change
So,
is
now
the
I'm
handle
giving
for all the
grace
social
until
media as
after
well as the
the
website.
primary.
Check it out.
When
Look, if
people
you
are
don't have
knocked
money to
off,
contribute,
because
that's
they're
totally
saying, don't
fine.
forget the primary
It could
election.
help with our secret
June
weapon.
24th.
Either one of
And
them.
if
to be
they
honest with
still
you.
do this,
and because
Share
secret
it, though.
after the
weapons are
primary,
not free.
Share it. You could share the
I'm going to
information.
hammer absolutely
I'm
without
tired of
question.
their
Just
shit.
like the political
I'm going
Mike,
to
I
hammer
forgot there's a
them.
number after his name.
And
Political Mike, whatever,
and the
he's been
candidates
sharing
who-
my stuff all over the
including
place.
the ones who have been on
And
city
look,
council and haven't lifted a
my
finger for
stuff,
this, who say that
YouTube
they're
Shorts
for it,
and
but they don't
TikTok
do shit.
and even Instagram, the
I,
reels
when I
are getting
reposted your
hundreds of
video
views.
recently, I said
I'm so
I don't
happy
know
to
if
hear
you-
that.
I'm so happy to hear that.
when
I
we
mentioned-
can't get shit,
I
to
mentioned
nobody to
that,
listen to this show.
I said I will not be voting for
Well, not
anybody.
nobody, but you know what I mean.
Any-
It's
Yeah.
not in the hundreds, that's
right.
for sure.
Yeah, but I mean,
Quite interesting.
I don't. I mean, it'd be None of cool, them. but I also kind
I
of
did-
like. Obviously, we
literally
don't
as
do
well,
it for
I
that.
don't
I'm like, I don't want to
use
vote for any of
We
these
do it
people
for-
to hang
I
out
don't
and have a reason
remember
to chill out.
if
and
I
drink
said it
some beer
during
and
last
talk
week's
shit.
show, but literally during the show,
Good
I got
phrasing
a
for me.
notification. Shit has been talked. A gentleman from Philadelphia.
shit might be
donated
talked
$50
about.
to my campaign.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, all
I
right.
don't
so
know who
I'm
this
gonna look at my
person is.
calendar
I
real
don't-
quick, and
I
we're gonna
think
see.
he
So
got-
I
he might
know
have
I
gotten
have
my
something.
info from,
What? Do you have something
yes,
cool happening?
Well, yes,
did find
I am-
out
I will
it
be
got put up there.
out
Nobody
of
bothered
town.
to tell
I'll
me.
be hanging out with GLB.
Okay, could
and
just be
Mrs.
somebody
GLB
just like
and
looking around and going,
Nice.
okay, these are
Felix
some
for
places.
his
I,
60th
maybe this
birthday.
person's from Oh, here where's originally. that?
There's a
Where
dude.
you guys has
Uh,
people here live here.
There's a dude who I don't
Somewhere
even
outside
know
of Ithaca.
who saw me on Instagram.
Is that where
and
Felix
now
lives?
on
That's
TikTok
where
because,
his sister,
campaigns
his,
on TikTok now.
who has
Oldest
been
sister has
sharing
a
my stuff. I have
place.
no idea who
Oh,
this guy
okay.
is.
That's awesome.
He's
I
even
thought- wasn't he
making
in
his own
Florida or
videos
something?
going, you need to look
lives
at
in
this guy.
Florida.
He's
Okay.
coming up for this.
Oh, I love that.
Right.
That's
So,
wonderful.
I mean, I'm thanking him up
So
and down.
I-
I just know
yeah,
who this guy
we
is.
probably
I don't know where
could
he's
do
from. I don't think he's
someday.
from
We just
Rochester.
maybe a little bit later in the day. if that's
Okay.
Not
Just
our-
likes
yeah,
your
I
message. Just likes the message.
So if you're interested, even if you don't live in
Well,
this
say
area
hi to
and
the
want
family.
help,
For-
because
well, the
honestly,
people like
there
you.
will be ripple effects.
So
So
There hasn't been a
we'll still have a show.
non-Democrat
We'll figure
elected
something
in this
out,
town in
and
over 40 years,
we'll be
and
back and maybe Carrie
getting
can
a
join
green
us and all
elected
that
in some
jazz.
place where they don't
And
get
then
elected.
I will not
We'll
have
show
school
other
the next
places
day.
that it's possible, and we'll maybe encourage other folks who don't identify with
Yeah.
the Democrats.
Oh,
to
yeah.
run
I
for
have.
office
I
as
have.
well. So you're
and not necessarily green. Maybe you want to be
Yeah,
independent.
and so I think it helps the bigger picture if you were to help my campaign.
July, like the
And
week
it's
of
pretty
July
simple.
4th week.
Yeah,
we're
You
closed
need the
that whole week.
W's in there. www.dayforchange.org.
All right, so you're going to go
And
check
Day
out
for Change is the handles
generalstrikeus.com.
Yes.
the social media. www.dayforchange.org.
I guess now I gotta say the only one I'm not on. I guess is
And
Snapchat. That's not happening.
I don't know. I think that's
not
about
happening.
it.
I don't
Be
even.
happy, but be vigilant.
I feel like that's just like a hookup
Get your
place.
news from alternate.
I know that
sources.
of
If you
my
go
daughter
to
and her
CoolCatsForChange.com,
siblings
you could, there's a list of
tab
sources there.
Snapchat,
and I think we might even have a list at the website.
chats,
Right.
So I
Stuart Berdasso Radio.
people use it
24/7.
to
It's
communicate.
stuartberdasso.com.
Yeah,
I don't think it's
And
anyone. in
I
our
don't know.
demographic.
Don't
Don't
go
go
to
to
Dix.com
Dix.com because that won't be what you think it is.
I am not winning.
I don't even know how you would use Snapchat.
Well, you
either.
post
It
pictures,
won't be
right?
sport- it won't
So
be
it would be
sporting
from the
goods.
campaign.
Dick's Sporting Goods is probably Dick's
There-
Sporting Goods.
there may
Don't
be a
just-
jockstrap
but don't
involved,
they go
but
way
it's
after,
not
like-
Dick's
It's
Sporting
not
Goods.
Dick's Sporting Goods. I'm just trying to help you out here, all right?
You have to always
Unless
be
you're
on
into
it and
both.
always have your notifications.
And then by all means, feel
my
free.
understanding.
Oh,
I am
okay.
literally an old person.
Just
Talking about
just
kids stuff.
you better have
Yeah, I
your,
don't really know
pop-up
anything
blocker
about
on.
it. I mean,
That's all
even
I'll
when I
say.
first heard
You might
about
get a
it,
chip
Sorry.
learning. I don't know. All right, gal. We'll see you
I
next
just
week.
remember when
Peace
people were
out.
first doing
Bye.
it because they really liked the different filters you could use on your face and stuff. So people kept
Criminal
using it just
record?
to use
No
the filters.
problems. Restraining
I'm
order.
like, all right,
Everyone
I guess I
makes
could see that.
mistakes.
Now they have filters
This is
on
the
like
pew pew
every
gun shop.
all the
Nobody's
things.
going to stop us from getting a pew pew into your
You
grubby
can-
little
you can
hands.
make yourself a
we
cat
know that the
on
founding
Facebook
fathers
too,
had
so.
guns
Okay.
and slaves, but they wanted you to have guns
Yeah,
too.
I mean, if you want to,
and
you know,
slaves,
you-
but we
you-
only have guns here at the
you
Pew
do
Pew
it.
Gun Shop. But in honor of those deities, we're having a 3/5 sale on
Yeah,
everything
you
at Pew Pews. Come on
Like
down
our
to
cat
1776
girl. Yeah,
Founding
cat girl.
Fathers
I don't know
Way
her name, what she
and
would
check
tell
out
us
our
her
stock
name.
of guns
That's okay.
and all the accessories you need
That's why I
to,
called her cat girl.
you know, pew pew pew
feel
pew
bad
pew.
Wait,
Woo! Shooting guns is fun. Pew pew pew.
Wait,
Sorry, got a little carried away.
Um,
We take your
so
made-up
Day
gun
for
right
Change
seriously
is,
at Pew Pew Gun
the
Shop.
handle for all the
So come
social
on
media
down.
as well as the website. Check it out. Look, if you don't have money to contribute, that's totally fine. It could help with our secret weapon. Either one of them, to be honest with you. And because
Share
secret
it, though.
weapons are not free.
Share it. You could share the information.
Absolutely, without question. Just like the political Mike, I forgot there's a number after his name. Political Mike, whatever. He's been sharing my stuff all over the place. And look, my stuff, YouTube Shorts and TikTok and even Instagram, the Reels are getting hundreds of views.
I'm so happy to
Each.
hear that. I'm so happy to hear that.
When we can't get shit to nobody to listen to this show. Well, not nobody, but you know what I mean. It's
Yeah.
not in the hundreds, that's
Right.
for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, it'd be cool, but I also kind of like, obviously we don't do it for that.
No, I do it for the Moosehead.
We do it to hang out and have a reason to chill out and drink some beer and talk shit.
Yep.
Yeah. Good enough reason for me.
Shit has been talked.
Or shit might be talked about later. We don't know.
Yeah, all right. So I'm going to look at my calendar real quick, and we're going to
Yeah.
see. So I know I have something.
What? Do you have something
Yes.
cool happening?
Well, yes, I will be out of town. I will be hanging out with GLB and Mrs. GLB and
nice.
our friend Felix for his 60th birthday.
Oh, where's that? Where you guys going?
Somewhere outside of Ithaca.
Is that where Felix lives?
That's where his sister, his oldest sister, has a place.
Oh, okay. Because I thought, wasn't he in Florida or something?
Yes, he lives in Florida. He's
Okay.
coming up for this
For that. Oh, that's
for the
fun.
weekend. So
We'll say hi to.
So
to Karen.
we probably can do Sunday. We just maybe a little bit later in the day if that's
Okay.
okay.
Yeah,
I
that's
will,
fine.
We'll call I'll just have to holler at you when I'm leaving and when I get to the house.
Well, I'll say hi to the fam.
I will.
Well, the people I do know.
So we'll still have a show. We'll
Mm-hmm.
figure something out, and we'll be back, and maybe Carrie can join us and all that jazz. And
Yeah,
and then
perhaps.
I will not have school the next day.
That's nice.
Finally,
That'd be nice.
for a whole 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have a week off as well, because the store is closed for the week of July, like the week of July 4th week.
Ah,
Yeah, we're closed that whole week.
all right. So you're gonna go check out GeneralStrikeUS.com.
Yes.
www.dayforchange.org, and I don't know. I think that's about it. Be happy, but be vigilant. Get your news from some sources. If you go to coolcatsforchange.com, there's a list of sources there, and I think we might even have a list at the website at stuartberdasso.com. Stuart Berdasso Radio 24/7 at stuartberdasso.com. And I don't know. Don't go to Dix.com because that won't be what you think it is. That will not be sporting goods.
It won't be Sporting Goods.
No.
Dick's Sporting Goods is probably Dick's Sporting Goods.
There may be a jock strap involved, but
It's not Dick's
it's
Sporting
not
Goods.
Dick's Sporting Goods. I'm just trying to help you out here, all right?
So don't do it.
Unless you're into both.
And then by all means, feel free. Enjoy yourself.
I'm just saying. Just you better have your pop-up blocker on. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right, gal. We'll see you next week.
Yay.
Peace out. Be safe.
Bye.
Criminal record? No problem. Restraining order? Everyone makes mistakes. This is the Pew Pew Gun Shop. Nobody's gonna stop us from getting a pew pew into your grubby little hands. We know that the Founding Fathers had guns. And slaves, but they wanted you to have guns too. And slaves, but we only have guns here at the Pew Pew Gun Shop. But in honor of those deities, we're having a 3/5 sale on everything at Pew Pews. Come on down to 1776 Founding Fathers Way and check out our stock of guns and all the accessories you need to, pew pew pew, pew pew, woo! Shooting guns is fun. Pew pew pew! Sorry, got a little carried away. We take your made-up gun rights seriously at Pew Pew Gun Shop, so come on down.